scoring captain.
We've got McInn.
Well done, McInn. Yes, Dan.
McInn scored twice in a 4-0 rout of Forest. He's played under plenty of managers, but Petrov says Unai Emery's made John McInn better than ever.
He understands the game. He sees the pitch in a different way. He's really patient with his position on the pitch.
Villa face Freiburg in the Europa League final. Meanwhile, here's what Ollie Glasner's been saying to his high-flying Eagles before every Conference League game.
We never forget, this is the reward for last year's achievement, for winning the FA Cup. And I want that you enter the pitch being proud and with this happiness, because it's the reward.
One more to go. Shakhtar brushed aside at Selhurst. Palace face Rayo Vallecano in the final. Now, it's reported Brentford have agreed terms with RB Leipzig defender Yannick Schuster. Meanwhile, with Anthony Gordon rumoured to be moving to Germany this summer, Newcastle boss Eddie Howe says he's only focused on the next 3 games and hopes to have the injured Lewis Miley back for pre-season at Newcastle. And tomorrow night, we've got the biggest fight in British boxing. That's according to heavyweight Dave Allen anyway.
Probably not as big as Fury Joshua will be commercially. That's like Wembley in probably half an hour, but in terms of a contest between 2 men at the best, fighting for the biggest prize in sport, it don't really get any bigger.
Dave has big puncher Daniel Dubois as favourite to beat Fabio Wardley, but thinks Wardley could have the edge if that fight goes the distance. We've got a watch along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel tomorrow night.
talkSPORT News.
With Farage on the charge, has Starmer lost the dressing room? And a third Brit has suspected hantavirus linked to a cruise ship outbreak. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Spring forwards with Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Across the north, cloudy, heavy showers across northern England later. Elsewhere, sunny spells, showers developing, those heaviest across Wales, the Midlands, southern and eastern England. Slightly warmer for most of us, cooler across the northwest.
Hello, very good morning. You're listening to Sam Matterface, Gabby Agbonlahor and Alex Crook. We're here on talkSPORT through till 1 o'clock this afternoon. So Aston Villa stand on the brink of history. They're 90 minutes away from lifting their first European trophy since 1982. Forest fans, look out. Gabby's got a score to settle this morning. Meanwhile, espionage in the Championship again. The EFL has opened an investigation into claims that Southampton spied from the bushes on Middlesbrough's preparations ahead of their high-stakes promotion battle. Should the Saints spot in the playoffs be in jeopardy, or is it a victimless crime? Also today, Hull City Acun Ilicali looks ahead to their game versus Millwall live on talkSPORT tonight. And Brighton head coach Fabian Herzler joins us to discuss why he signed a new deal with the club. It's Matterface, Crook and Agbonlahor, and we're live on talkSPORT.
100% engagement.
Jim White and Simon Jordan on talkSPORT.
And a very good morning. It is Fun Boy Friday. Let me apologise immediately if there's any smugness or glee from my co-host today. But you are used to Alex Crook by now. But Gabby Agbonlahor is also very happy. Put your cigar down. Great performance. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations.
Very much, thank you.
Do you reckon you could manage to be just a little bit humble because, you know, you haven't won anything?
Yeah, we haven't won anything yet, but, you know, Nottingham Forest fans, last Friday, the messages you were reading out, Sam, the callers, the direct messages on every possible social media platform I was getting, celebrating the fireworks. They had a concert after the game, only to get thumped on probably the most one-sided semi-final second leg you will ever see. Thumped. Couldn't get out of their own half. Light work for Aston Villa. Who's next?
I heard you having a go at the Arsenal fans this week, and Arsenal for having fireworks after they'd got through to the final in Budapest. I noticed, and I had pointed it out to you at least 3 times this week, that Villa have fireworks before every game, and they had fireworks before the semi-final last
fireworks,
night.
Mate. They're like sparklers that you have on your champagne when you're in a nightclub.
Might be on your champagne.
Yeah, they weren't fireworks. They're like little ones. What did the manager do after the game?
I don't know.
Emery?
It was definitely.
He clapped the fans for about 3 seconds and walked down the tunnel.
Okay, well, it was
Mikel
a champagne
Arteta
performance, wasn't it?
Was doing the Haymarket Arena around the stadium. They're doing a tour of the stadium. You know,
he's quite used to getting to Europa League finals, so that's probably.
Oh,
why.
okay.
Is there not a small part of you that is worried that your legendary status is going to be diminished even further? Because surely you have to win something to be a legend at a football club.
I totally agree. I say that all the time, Crookie. I am not a Villa legend. The legends are the team that won the 1982 Champions League. I agree. And these players, I think they deserve it. This era needs to be an era where Villa win trophies. And I'm a fan. I'm not an ex-player. I'm not a legend. I'm a Villa fan.
Okay, you're a lifelong Villa fan.
I am, mate.
Yeah. So no other team when you were a kid.
I'm not like you. Have 4 teams. Aston Villa fan.
I heard a vicious rumour out in the green room that maybe you might have supported Arsenal when you were younger.
No, I supported Thierry Henry. Arsenal were my.
Did you have an Arsenal shirt?
Hold on. You just had a go at him for having 4 teams, and you were just about to say Arsenal were my second team.
I was a Villa fan, but the era that I was brought up with wasn't an outstanding striker.
So you're a glory hunter.
Thierry Henry was everyone's.
You were brought up in was just after they'd won their last trophy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you're talking like my era that I remember. You're talking like, the Dwight Yorks, very good strikers, but Thierry Henry, different level. So I loved Thierry. I loved everything about him. But Villa, my team, and, big clubs with heritage, they get to finals.
Well, there's certainly a bit of heritage about Aston Villa, that is for sure. And one man who definitely has supported them since as long as he can remember is Prince William, who gave the performance a royal seal of approval last night. He was there. He's having a great time, enjoying himself.
Love the royal family.
But let's roll back to Sunday. 7 changes. McInn rested. Booze at half-time.
Yes.
Villa fans were booing. Let's be clear.
Deservedly.
It was a poor performance.
Deservedly.
But did Unai Emery actually get his approach spot on? Or were the players always having their focus just on this?
Do you know what, Sam? I get it for the players that, the regulars in the team that maybe took their foot off the gas, big 74 and coming up. But the fringe players, look at the fringe players for Nottingham Forest, how they performed against Chelsea. I'm looking at the Leon Baileys, the Sanchos, the Abrahams. They've got to do more when they get a chance. There's a reason why they didn't start last night. And also, every game, the manager would want to win. He didn't set out Aston Villa to go and lose that game. He would have loved for top 5 to be wrapped up on Sunday with a win. Players didn't turn up. There was a bit of walking football from some of the Villa players. But as an Aston Villa fan, all forgiven after last night's performance. That's one of the best performances I've seen a Villa team have in recent years. Outstanding.
But when the lineups came out, there was quite a bit of a backlash about the selection of Victor Lindelof.
I liked it. I liked it when I saw the lineup. It makes sense. Bogart's
played a lot of their European games, hasn't he? And to be fair,
I read a headline on one of the Aston Villa sites which basically said, and I looked at it to see this morning to check what time it was, 1856, and it said Emery gets it wrong by going too defensive.
No, I knew exactly what he was doing before we done the watch along last night. I think every media outlet had it at 3 centre halves and 5 at the back.
In midfield.
I was like, no, he's obviously playing centre midfield. He's done it many times during his career. Bogart isn't good enough for Aston Villa to start games. Recent weeks he hasn't. Douglas Luiz is not the Douglas Luiz that left Aston Villa. And he was fantastic. He was getting in front of Chris Wood. He was winning headers. He was letting Matty Cash get forward and dropping into that defensive role. And he allowed Tielemans to do what Tielemans does. Master class from Unai Emery.
I know you put in a few requests today, and this is going to be a very Gabby-centric segment. But you asked the producer to find this from last week.
1 second. Where's my
You're
headphone?
quite confident at home, under the lights, Villa can turn this around. I'm just looking at Forest's defensive record. They've only conceded 1 goal, I think, in their last 5 games. They've not conceded 2 goals in a game since the first week in March when they drew 2-2 at Manchester City. So those stats tell you that if Forest score at Villa Park, you're in trouble. They didn't score, did they? That's the whole point.
The mic's yours, Mr. Crook.
Well, they didn't score.
Have you got an apology to Villa fans who were upset by your comments last week?
Well, they're very thin-skinned if they're upset by me suggesting that Forest would make a fight of it.
You looked at what they've done in recent games.
Just pointing out statistics.
Of course. But the first time that he does his prep and finds some stats. He gets it wrong.
He probably leant over and looked at
But this time, he didn't look at Villa beating Forest 3-1 in the league, scoring 3 goals.
We did mention. This time last week, you played out a clip of me saying that Villa were favourites to try and use as a stick to beat me with. So which one is it?
No, but Crookie, you've got West Ham fans, you've got Arsenal fans, Forest fans. No one backed Villa. Unai Emery has won. Sam Matterface did. Unai Emery has won 4 Europa Leagues for a reason. Aston Villa pay compensation. Aston Villa pay compensation for this manager for a reason.
Yeah. Can they keep him though?
I think we can do. Yeah. If not, if not, it happens. Real Madrid, big club.
More whispers about his future last night.
But do you want to go to Real Madrid? You got players having boxing fights. You've got Mbappé. The fans are not having. I'm sure he's happy with Aston Villa. And what I like about big managers, game finishes, knows he's not done yet. To semi-final, clap the fans, off you go. He was probably watching the Freiburg game in his meeting room last night, knowing Unai Emery.
He's kept his feet on the ground a lot more than you have this morning.
Well, let's talk about Unai Emery, because there is a lot of discussion about the possibility of him moving in the future, but there has been a few doubters about him in big games as well.
Yes.
Let's go back. Conference League semi-final against Olympiacos. Didn't work. FA Cup semi-final last year against Crystal Palace. The Champions League final day at the end of the season, where
Rightly so.
They had a real massive issue. Champions League quarter-final against Paris Saint-Germain. Actually, I think they did all right in that game. That's probably a different kettle of fish. But last night they had to turn up. And they have to turn up again. This is a guy who's managed 46% of all Europa League finals since 2014. He doesn't lose very often. The last one he lost was to Chelsea in Baku.
And boy, did he lose that.
Yeah, 4-1 the score.
But Sam,
Garden of Eden, I think.
Yeah, you're spot on with those stats there. But when I look at this manager, he had a plan. Villa fans were probably a bit more nervous for this game than he was. He probably looked at it and says, 1-0 away from home, always wanted to have the second leg at Villa Park. No pressure, no problem. Was Gibbs White a massive miss? Of course. Was Murillo, was Sangare a massive miss? Of course. But Aston Villa's performance, John McGinn, that's one of the best performances I've seen in a Villa shirt for decades. He was everywhere. He was winning the ball back. He scored 2 goals. Exactly. Scored 2 goals. He was everywhere. Could have had a third. Pau Torres. He bullied Chris Wood. He bullied Igor Jesus. Ollie Watkins, that sort of performance that gets you on the plane. He bullied the whole back 4 of Nottingham Forest. Even the cut to his head. I know some soft players would have been off the pitch. He's like, bandage it up, I'm carrying on. We are getting to this final.
We're going to talk about Nottingham Forest as well in the next few moments and what went wrong for them. But for Unai Emery, would it actually be the crowning glory of his tenure if he won the Europa League? Or would it be actually a signal to everybody else to come and get him and take him elsewhere? Because Real Madrid aren't the only ones who are fluttering, admiring glances at him.
No, there's been a few suggestions that if Manchester United don't continue with Michael Carrick, then Unai Emery is somebody that potentially they would like to talk to. And it'd be a big decision to make, wouldn't it? Because we've spoken about this a lot. He's in that rare situation in modern football where he is very much the master of all he surveys. He obviously had a sporting director, basically decided he wanted a different sporting director. He's got the final say when it comes to transfers. Villa Park is very much his kingdom. That isn't going to happen at Real Madrid. It isn't going to happen at Manchester United. But if he does win the Europa League, realistically, Gabby, and I'm not saying this to wind you up, is there a genuine question with the financial limitations imposed on Villa that he's taking the club as far as he can?
I think it all depends on if the financial limitations, if they change. Listen, it's frustrating. Aston Villa would have loved to have brought Semenyo, brought Gahey in January, strengthened like other clubs can, but they can't. And maybe it will be the same this summer. But if he wins the Europa League with Aston Villa, Champions League football next season, I don't see him leaving. He wants to go and win trophy after trophy with Aston Villa. And like you says, look at the chaos at Real Madrid. I know it's Real Madrid, but you've got players fighting. Valverde's missing the Clasico next week. Schumeni obviously is going to get sold. You can't assault a player.
Manchester United a little bit calmer now than it has been for a couple of years.
Of course, but
thanks to Carrick.
But Michael Carrick won't appreciate you giving the job to Unai Emery.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if they didn't give it to Michael Carrick, we have had this conversation. Yeah. Both Sam and I feel like Michael Carrick has earned the right.
Definitely, I totally agree.
Talking of people who have earned the right, and you didn't mention him during that sort of role of honour that you came out with from last night. But Emi Buendia was loaned out to Leverkusen. Yep. Most people thought that he would not be at Aston Villa by now. His performance last night was nothing short of terrific. Right from the very off, that first corner where he's turning around to everyone and giving it a large. And his dance for the opening goal is exquisite, isn't it? It's right up there with anything that you've seen in the Europa League this season.
100%. And I look at an example of Kvaratskhelia assist on Wednesday. You know, when top players get into that position, Sam, they don't panic. Buendia, he could have literally shot. He could have just whipped it across the box. No, he took his time, composed himself. He knows where Watkins likes to run. Watkins scored a similar goal in the second leg against Bologna. Similar tapping.
You did slate him last week. John from Salford's just texted us in. He says you slated Buendia as soft last week. You called Amadou Onana made of straw last week.
Agreed. Onana was celebrating after the game. I was thinking, please don't pull the other calf. Save yourself for the final. Buendia has been poor. Every Villa fan said that. Because you slate a player for being poor, you can also praise them when they're good.
What about that Villa fan who rang in and called him Diddley Squatkins? I think he publicly apologised, didn't he?
100, but that was unfair. But Buendia should be doing what he done last night. You know, he's in the team for a reason. Harvey Elliott isn't getting a chance for that reason. The manager likes Buendia, but he doesn't turn up regularly.
Okay, 03717 333 Villa fans, don't go into hiding this morning. Celebrate your success and tell us, were you booing on Sunday, and was Unai Emery justified in resting all those players in order to get you through to the Europa League final, which you will contest in Istanbul on the 20th of May, live on talkSPORT. Nottingham Forest won't be there. Why? Nottingham Forest fans, give us a shout. Tell us what went wrong for you last night. 03717 22 Were you too open? Does Evangelos Marinakis have to take a little bit of the blame here? The Palace fans absolutely revelling in the fact that they're getting to a European final and Nottingham Forest aren't this morning. 03717 22 3344. We'll reflect on all of the night's football in just a few moments here on talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappé, who has faced criticism from his own fans after taking a trip to Italy on a mega yacht with his partner. He's recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered on April the 24th and was given some days off last week. He arrived back in Madrid on Sunday, shortly before kick-off, when Madrid played away against Espanyol. Many fans thought Mbappé should not have taken a break and should have stuck with the team, going through a difficult time at this particular time. Alvaro Arbeloa said, well, in their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved with that. Mbappe's representative said part of the criticism was based on an over-interpretation of elements related to a recovery period, strictly supervised by the club, without reflecting the reality of Kylian's commitment and the work that he puts in every day for the team. So that was Mbappé and Real Madrid. But then there's Liverpool. What was going on with them? Danny's old club. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk had to defend some of his teammates who were criticised for being abroad last week on a day off as they headed into the Manchester United game, a game they ultimately lost by 3-2. It was put to Van Dijk that some of his teammates had gone on holiday last week. He says, I'm not sure it was a holiday, it was a city trip. But I think if you're one day off and you don't have many days off, then you decide what you want to do with your family. We're not kids. Everyone's an adult. I wish we had a couple more days off at times because I think it works both ways.
Istanbul, you have been warned. Gabby Agbonlahor is on his way. We've got live coverage of the Europa League final. It is Aston Villa against Freiburg. Jim Proudfoot, Adrian Durham, the former Villa captain Andy Townsend and Ali McCoist will all be there with Gabby. There'll be wall-to-wall coverage of the Europa League final right from the very time that Gabby lands. I think Gabby's trying to get a flight out tomorrow, actually. But I'm not necessarily sure that the talkSPORT bosses have sanctioned that just yet. James Rust, the Forest fan, just for Gabby. Congratulations. Villa were amazing, but apart from Anderson, if you could remove Forest key players, no Sangaru, no Murillo, no Aina, no Gibbs-White, no Hudson-Odoi, that cripples the team. It's such a shame we could not put out a competitive team last night on such a big occasion. But for all Forest fans, we're proud of our first European campaign in 30 years. They did us proud. And no blame on Vitor last night for what he had. It is interesting to sort of look at it from a Forest perspective, isn't it? Marinakis coming under the pump from Palace fans today as they get to a final and Forest miss out. The Palace fans in particular quite pleased with themselves about that. When we look back on this season, will Forest fans be grateful for the experience, a first European campaign in 30 years, and by the way, largely a successful European campaign, to get to a semi-final? Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes. They were very good during the course of the tournament. Or will they be wistful about what might have been?
What, in terms of if they've been in the Conference League, they could well be in Palace's position now. Yeah.
Well, there is a little bit of that, but there's also the fact that obviously the injuries, also the fact that they've had a lot of destabilising situations that have occurred because of the numerous changes of manager.
I think the fact they've got to the semi-finals of a major European competition has saved Marinakis from coming under the pump from his own supporters, because he's made some bad decisions. You know, hiring Ange Postecoglou was an absolute disaster, really. Forcing Nuno Espirito Santo out of the football club was probably not the right thing to do, bearing in mind he'd just given them their most successful season in decades, and it was thanks to his management they got into Europe in the first place. But you know what? I'm going to say it. This feels like karma for Marinakis, because they shouldn't have been in the Europa League at all. You know, they got in there on a technicality. It was only because he had the foresight to put his shares into a blind trust, and obviously Palace didn't do the same thing. But morally, it wasn't right that Palace got bumped down and Forest got bumped up. So I do think what goes around comes around.
I think as well, they have to be careful now who they do appoint. Do they give it to Pereira for next season? Do they bring in someone else, Marco Silva, whoever they do? Because if you're a manager, do you want it, Sam? You know, if you go through a tough spell, the manager, you're going to get sacked straight away by this owner. Is this a job that the top managers out there, Marco Silva will have so many options, will he want that Forest job? And I've got to get it right.
I think all you can say is, you know, you're going to get financial backing. You know, they will.
Who's going to give you financial backing?
Well, they will lose players in this window. Elliot Anderson is going to go.
You're talking about Nottingham Forest, but who signs the players? Does the manager sign the players?
Well, no, obviously not. So you have to be willing to operate under that system. And again, you talk about Marco Silva. From what I understand, he's been offered a long-term contract to Fulham, huge money in terms of wages, and carte blanche regarding recruitment. Well, he isn't going to get that carte blanche in recruitment at Nottingham Forest. What he is going to get is a chairman who's willing to invest in the team, but as you say, not necessarily on players.
What's crazy, though, is that look at where Forest are in the league table, but it wouldn't surprise me if this owner will demand European football qualification next season. Yeah, I mean, so big pressure on whoever comes in.
But the fans like that ambition.
Okay,
they like the fact he's a demanding owner. You know, I don't think you'll get a Forest fan who comes on here today and bashes Marinakis, but if you're a Crystal Palace supporter, they were celebrating Forest's demise last night. In fact, one of the biggest cheers was when the PA announced and read out the score from Villa Park.
03717 223344. We're getting your calls and your texts. There's loads and loads of text messages coming in, basically coming for you, Gabby. The tone of them usually replicates what Mickey has said. Tell Gabby there's one thing worse than a bad loser. It's a bad winner. 03717 223344.
It's that Mickey. Oh, yeah. Thanks for that, Mickey. Have a good day, mate. Next.
I'm coming for you guys now.
Oh, no.
I'm coming for you guys now.
Oh, no.
Because I'm going to take you back to February. Okay. And in particular, you.
Ooh.
You had a go at me for being arrogant.
Nothing to do with me. Well,
about
bring me into
English
this debate.
Football.
Champions League.
No. You said it's English arrogance because I said to you, is there a chance that their English teams, the Premier League teams, would win all 3 European trophies? And
I don't believe. Have you got proof?
That's English arrogance.
Have you got proof, Sam?
And what the final lineups again?
Have you got proof on that?
Yeah, we can easily get proof. We've got it. We've got loads of it.
Find it, please. No, you were spot on, mate. And the more the season's gone on, I said it yesterday, whoever qualifies for the Europa League next season, if that's Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, Chelsea, whoever it is, will be favourites probably.
This is the first
how
time
strong the Premier
ever
League is.
that all 3 finals have an English team in them.
And how do you think UEFA will feel about that?
Not very happy, I wouldn't have thought. But I think there will be. I think that the venues will be happy, right? Okay, because English fans always travel in their numbers, right? So Arsenal
Hundreds
fans
of
spending
thousands.
stupid amounts of money.
Yes.
I felt sorry for them yesterday, especially because Budapest has got hardly any hotel rooms. They're going through the roof in terms of the cost. The same will happen in Leipzig. We've been trying to get our stuff sorted out, obviously, to get to these venues for the next couple of weeks. It's very, very difficult.
Sam, I want to apologise to you, mate, because like we take you for granted. You know, you work so much. You know more football than anybody.
Don't,
so I apologise, mate.
Don't take the mick.
The man in the blazer. I have to apologise.
You know what this is?
He scares me in that blazer. You know what I mean? He looks like my lawyer.
He looks like a Bond villain, doesn't he?
Did you say I look like your lawyer? You've had a few of those, haven't you? 03717 2233 444. Listen, how many trophies do you think the Premier League clubs are going to win? Let us know. Nottingham Forest fans, we want to hear from you. Gabby's fans, we want to hear from you. And Aston Villa fans as well. You are listening to talkSPORT. It's Fun Boy Friday. And by the way, Fun Boy Friday goes out this afternoon. We're all going out, aren't we, playing darts?
Well, most of us are, yeah.
Is anyone not coming? I mean, Maya's come in, the ref's come in, Tope's come in. Becky, you coming?
Sorry, guys. I'll hold my hands up. I'm sorry. I apologise.
Did you invite Scott Minto in the end?
I did invite Scott Minto.
Is he coming?
He's coming, yeah.
I apologise.
I knew he would be.
I'm sorry. I've got something.
To be fair,
on at
Minto
home.
turns up the opening of him.
What are you going to tell them? What I did to make it a bit sweeter? Disappointment that we're not coming.
You said you'd come next time.
It's blood money.
Blood money. Don't want it. Don't want it.
This is talkSPORT with Selco Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
I'm going to go Friday after work pint, number 5, mate.
Number 5.
There he is. So do you want it? You ready?
Yeah, go on.
In number 5.
Number 5.
Friday after work pint. You've worked hard all week. You know, you want to go there, just have that first pint. You've earned it.
Number 4.
Beer garden pint. This can happen any time of day.
Good pint.
Any time, any day of the week. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, meet the lads. Sunday afternoon.
Good pint.
Right, sun's got to be
Number 3.
Football pint. The football pint's in. You meet your lads, meeting up Saturday afternoon or Sunday, whatever it is. First pint, in you go. We're going to get a beer again.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The holiday pint. Mr. O'Hara wants that one. Yeah. When you get there, you've done the journey. You've gone through everything you need to do. Passport, security checks, the journey. You get out, you smell, you feel a bit grubby. Don't care. You get on wherever you get to then you get to your destination. Bags get dropped. Sit there. You've earned this pint.
Yeah, it's a good pint.
Good pint.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Airport. It's the only one, mate. Airport pint. It's the only one. You're there. It doesn't matter what time. Not with lads. No. Doesn't matter who you're with. If you're with me, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, whatever it is, that's the point.
Do you know what's disappointing in this whole, ranking that we've done?
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, your missus. There's not one pint that involves your missus. Not one. Where's Hannah in this?
I'm at the airport with her.
No, you're not. You're not at the airport with her. You're with Razor Rudden.
No, hold on.
You're not.
Hold on.
Hannah's involved in none of these pints.
No, hold on. I'm at the airport.
The Jedi Master of the Europa League, Unai Emery, has done it again.
Good evening. Yes, absolutely.
With Amadou Onana injured, Emery played centre-back Victor Lindelof in midfield.
He's a fantastic guy, fantastic professional. He has experience. He played out of matches like that. He plays sometimes as a midfielder, and of course, was not necessary to explain him a lot.
Villa routed Nottingham Forest 4-0 to reach their first European final in 44 years. They'll face Freiburg in the final, who are 7th in the Bundesliga. A fist-pumping Prince William celebrated in the dressing room with the players. Without the injured Morgan Gibbs-White, Forest only managed 2 shots on target, and Vitor Pereira says he doesn't know if Gibbs-White will play again this season. Meanwhile, in the Conference League, Ollie Glasner says if anyone still doubted his team's character, just look at Palace's second goal.
We never forget, this is the reward for last year's achievement, for winning the FA Cup. And I want that you enter the pitch being proud and with this happiness, because it's the reward.
Crystal Palace are into their first ever European final. They'll play Rayo Vallecano in Leipzig. Southampton have been asked to explain why a staff member was spotted filming Middlesbrough's training session. Saints go to Borough in the Championship playoff semi-final, live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow lunchtime. Tonight, Hull host Millwall, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. And the pioneer of the Luke Littler versus Mo Farah marathon debate, Dave Allen, who also boxes in his spare time, has given his take on tomorrow's juggernaut bout between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois.
Always pick against him, but I'm getting proven wrong nearly every time. So yeah, I'm going to go for Dubois, just because I always pick against Wardley, and why break a habit now? But it's a 9 50-50, and that's another reason why it's such a great fight.
Listen and watch along live tomorrow on talkSPORT and the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel.
Dan Towles from BetMGM has been in touch. He says, night out, is it? Thanks for the invite. Dan, you've got 2 hours, 30 minutes to get from whatever destination you happen to be enjoying some sort of hospitality at.
3 times I've invited him to events. 3 times he's made rubbish excuses. So 3 strikes and you're out, Dan.
All right, okay. Sam Crooked, Gabby, Forest fans and Max Scott have been celebrating all week. Villa did what they did to Bayern and PSG and sent them packing. It's karma in its purest form, especially for Palace, Lee and Stourbridge. Do you know what? I felt a bit sorry for Max last night. I did. I like Max. He's a good lad.
He's a top guy.
And he had to sit next to you for 3 hours as you were literally going.
Do you know what? We were so nice to each other because I like him and we both respect each other's teams. But once that third goal went in, something in me just changed.
Really? We didn't notice.
I just switched and I just couldn't stop.
Was there a show that you weren't on yesterday, by the way?
I know, mate. It is what it is, isn't it? Martin Keough must have been like headbutted the wall.
Question for Gabby. Can he help me decide who set up our first goal last night to make it 1-0? Was it Buendia or was it Michael Flatley who danced his way through that defence? Awesome footwork from Ogre, the Villa fan.
Top talent.
Morning, guys. When Villa lost the first leg, I was gutted. But I thought when we get to Villa Park, it will be a different story. Yes. But then we lost on Sunday, and I felt physically sick. But every time I looked at Emery, he was calm and thoughtful, not going mad like usual, and I thought maybe he's got a plan. And boy, what a plan. In Unai we trust, up the Villa. Steve in Birmingham. Let's get to Gemma, who's an Aston Villa fan. Hi, Gemma.
Good morning, Gemma.
Good morning. Good morning, Sam, Alex and Gabby.
Good morning to you. Thanks for coming on. Congratulations for last night. What do you want to say?
Thank you. I actually wanted to say something to Gabby, please. With respect, Gab, a few days ago you said that Emi Buendia was not good enough to play for Aston Villa. I think you owe him a public apology.
Gemma, consider it done.
Performance last night.
Consider it done.
That camera over there, please.
Buendia, you are a superstar. I apologise. I get a lot of things wrong. You are a top player. Is that okay, Gemma?
That's perfect. Thank you, Gab.
Anytime. Anything for you, Gemma.
Thank you. My husband and my son are actually going to Istanbul. They managed to get tickets last night and some flights. So they're really lucky. They'll be there with you, Gab. I just wanted to say one more thing. I'd just like to advocate for, and I know football's really tribal, but if I could just congratulate Arsenal and Crystal Palace for reaching their finals as well. And I just think it would be great if everyone could just be a bit more patriotic and support all the English teams rather than being so divisive. It would be wonderful.
Do you know
That's
what?
long
Do you know
been
what?
my mantra.
You are right, Gemma.
I've got Alex Crook next to me who doesn't want anyone to win a European trophy apart from Man United.
No, I've had a nice little double on Villa and Palace, so I'll cheer those two on. And,
I agree.
And PSG in the Champions League final.
Gemma, I've always been a big fan of PSG. You know, back to Pochettino's days with Ronaldinho. Love PSG, so I have to go for PSG to win.
I think it would be great if they all won.
I know, Gemma. It's what it is.
Do you know the worst thing? I've just arranged to go and spend Champions League final weekend with the Arsenal supporting family in Portugal. So we're going out for the afternoon. We're watching together. My brother-in-law said you've got to wear an Arsenal shirt. I said no chance.
You definitely get on that horse.
But I said to him, I'll cheer you on. I absolutely won't.
He rang me up.
I absolutely won't.
He rang me up and said to me, we're at Wednesday night for the Europa League final. He goes, all right if I come and watch the final round at your house? Is that okay? Because I'm playing at Old Trafford the next day.
Makes sense.
Just
another freebie.
Thank you, Gemma. Good luck. Jack's an Aston Villa fan. Hello.
Good morning, Jack.
Morning, guys. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. How did you feel after last night? And what do you think it signals for Aston Villa?
Well, I think it was a fantastic game. I think the fans turned up. Players turned up after Sunday as well. Did fantastic.
Did you boo on Sunday?
Sorry?
Did you boo on Sunday at half-time when they were trailing to Tottenham?
No, I sort of understood what was going on. I mean, with where we are in the table, I think there's a couple of games where we can possibly afford to rest players for the European matches. It's a case of not putting all the eggs in one basket. And it came to fruition, didn't it, last night with that performance? I know Forest weren't at their best, but...
How important is this, Jack, for Villa fans to go and win this in the final?
To be honest, I think winning the Europa League, it's one of it's the biggest moment in my lifetime as a Villa fan anyway, especially even up there with 1982, with the restrictions we've had and how competitive the league and the European competitions are.
Spot on, mate.
Jack, thank you very much. Appreciate that. It was interesting, actually, when I was thinking about the possibility of Aston Villa winning the Europa League, and it hasn't happened yet. They play Freiburg. I did the Freiburg game last night, actually.
Good game. Good team.
I think Aston Villa will win.
Yep.
I just don't think defensively that Freiburg are good enough to be able to withstand the Villa pressure.
Yes.
And I'm not sure. They've scored a lot of goals this season, but I'm not sure they'll be good enough to score against opposition of the level of Aston Villa. And interestingly, I know you came for Spurs at the end of last season when they won in Bilbao, saying that it was the Dog and Duck Cup.
Dog and Duck final. That was more a reflection of the final than the competition.
But we had a text message here, which just gone off my screen. But Ryan has sent us a text message saying, just like Spurs, Aston Villa will win the watered-down version of Europe's second competition. We should be expecting them to win it, and it doesn't represent a massive achievement.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Is it bigger for Aston Villa to win the Europa League than it is for Tottenham to win the Europa League? Because I think last season everybody expected it to be a big final between Tottenham and Manchester.
I think it's still for Spurs. You know, the weight that their fans have had to winning a trophy. It meant more to Spurs maybe than Manchester United, who are used to winning multiple Champions Leagues. But is it a watered down competition? Listen, there's no Champions League teams going into it. Is it easier to win? Yes, it is. Will the Premier League teams in Europa League next season be favourites? Yes, they will. How strong the Premier League is, like you says.
But it's a fairer competition, I think. Because
Exactly.
I think one of the big issues I had with the big teams from the Champions League or the eliminated teams from the Champions League coming down is basically they were getting a second chance.
Why?
And everybody else who'd gone through the group stages of the Europa League ended up having to deal with higher grade opposition when they got to the
Dortmund.
And that
became almost like a plate competition.
Yes.
And that didn't happen in the old days, did it? When you had the European Cup, the UEFA Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup that Arsenal won in 1995. I think that's a rubbish argument, to be
Do you know
honest.
as well, guys? I said it yesterday, Sam. I says that like there's people who are going through a lot in life. And last night, Villa fans there were Villa fans that are poorly, there'll be Villa fans that are going through a lot of stress. Last night just takes your mind off it. Football means so much to people.
Absolutely.
And it's been 30 years since Aston Villa won a trophy. It's been far too long. And Villa fans are jealous of the West Hams, jealous of the Spurs, jealous of Crystal Palace winning trophies.
And not just Villa. I was at Arsenal on Tuesday night. I described it on air as the best night the Emirates has ever had. I stand by that. Arsenal in the European final. I was at Selhurst last night. I described that as the biggest night in the history of the stadium, over 102 years. And Gab's right. You know, the world is a tough place for a lot of people at the moment. It was joy unconfounded at the Emirates, same at Villa Park, and very much the same at Selhurst Park. And I think we should cherish that.
Yeah, and we should also cherish the fact that 3 English teams are in the final. As Richard from Huddersfield says, this is fantastic for English football. It's proving why the Premier League is such a dominant force, especially after UEFA changed the rules, and rightly so the Champions League teams can no longer be demoted into the Europa or Conference League. And now we are seeing the effect. Any English team that qualifies for the Europa League or Conference League instantly becomes one of the favourites. The Champions League is the only place where the big teams from other leagues are actually on the same level as our big teams. 03717 2233.
Thank you, Sam.
A double.
I was just going to say thank you. Can you give the number again, please? Because all these Forest fans, you know, West Ham fans.
You think they've lost the number?
Hundreds of them in my DMs. Like, you've got the number, guys. Phone. Let's have a chat.
Is the
Let's
switchboard
talk.
as flooded as if we were talking about?
I think the Villa fans are probably hungover, Crookie. But where's the Forest fans? You know, I'm sure I was getting messages all week.
Quickly, let's get to Craig, who's a Birmingham
Friday.
City
Come
fan.
on.
Quickly, Craig, because we've got to go. Because we've got.
Come on,
Fabian
Craig.
Herzler
Let's
gonna
have it.
join us very shortly. Go for it. What do you want to say?
Hello again, Gabby.
Hello, Craig. You right, mate?
I told you I'd phone up again if you won.
Thank you, mate.
Congratulations.
Thank you, pal.
But my point is, you said last week or this week how Arsenal celebrate their fans, how the fans were.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you done the exact same thing last night.
Not as we didn't celebrate as much.
I had fireworks before the game.
Yeah, there wasn't a concert after the game, was there? You know.
No, I think you're a bit harsh on Arsenal. They've not reached the Champions League final in 20 years.
Absolutely.
They're
You've got to
second
celebrate
favourites. They know they're second favourites.
You went on the
It wasn't just me that said it.
Ange Postecoglou.
It wasn't just me that said it. Legendary Wayne Rooney said it. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank said the same thing, guys.
I was all up for it.
Craig, how do you feel, Craig, as a Birmingham City fan, where Aston Villa are so close? Will you be hiding when the parade is through New Street for Aston?
I'm not a deluded like blue nose, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's good for West Midlands.
Agreed.
It's good for the West Midlands because the West Midlands is highly like underrated. I think.
Agreed.
The people in West Midlands are proper football fans.
Yes, great.
Proper working class people.
Agreed.
We've seen it at Birmingham in League One and the Championship.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Villa now in Europe. You don't really see it with the Baggies and Wolves because they're both pretty much in scraps, isn't they? Let's be honest.
We don't get the respect, do we, mate, the West Midlands? And now Villa are going to put West Midlands back on the map.
Well, we put them back on the map a few years ago, but we're still waiting for Villa to do it.
You should have saw his face, Craig, when he said that. It was tongue firmly.
Cookie, you okay, mate? You got a fight? Cookie against the water?
Craig, thank you very much. 03717
Alex
3344. He's having a go at everybody celebrating too much when Arsenal won the semi-final on Tuesday night, and then he's just talked about the open-top bus parade that's going to go through Aston because they're going to definitely win the Europa League. He hasn't even seen Freiburg yet. He don't know anything about them.
What country are they from? Is it Austria? Is it Germany? I don't know.
It's Black Forest. It's Germany.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't know.
Ginter plays for them. Used to play for Germany. World Cup winner.
Great player.
2004.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Is that where the Gatto comes from?
That is where the Gatto comes from.
Never knew that. Okay. Bit of a quiz question for you.
Nottingham Forest fans, please call up. We want to chat. Come on, guys.
I'm going to be positive about the whole thing. 7-2 it is for all three to win the finals. I'm going to place a bet
That's a bit stingy.
on those three. And good luck to Arsenal, to Palace, and to Aston Villa.
Thank you,
Speak to
Sam.
Fabian Herzler next.
You mentioned those Arsenal critics, Martin. Do you think there'll be a fair bit of humble pie dished out at the end of the season?
I don't really care, Jim. As I said, this is the first season since Arteta's been there. I said maybe they can win the league this year. I'll back them to win it. They still haven't done that. And with Pep in the building, there's lots of speculation. Will he be here? Won't he? Is he not even responding to that to create this extra energy and this drive for his team? Bernardo Silva, who's been an amazing servant for the football club, going as well. So it creates that, that finish, that final hurdle.
But in here many times, Martin, you've bristled a few times, more than a few times, when people have come at you about, no, let's get this right. Arsenal have got to show that they can do it, etc., etc. You've bristled a few times.
No, I bristle at the bottling claim, and I should think it's insulting. And I heard Simon use perpetuity, the word forever, and it certainly wasn't around in my day. And if they go on and win the league and the Champions League this year, in fact, I'll take one of those trophies, Jim. I don't think that could be said about this group ever again.
Martin, brilliant. You think it's got a bit too cosy with Danny and Simon?
I don't know whether Simon is using the back complaint because he's just not happy that Arsenal are in the Champions League final. I don't know. I can't work it out. Oh, he's woken up. He's woken up.
He is here. He is here. You're not using the back complaint at all, are you?
Unfortunately, my earphones have unplugged, so I haven't had time to Keown's dribble.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Hey, good morning. It's Fun Boy Friday. It's Sam Matterface with Alex Crook and with Gabby Agbonlahor. Let's speak to the Brighton manager, Fabian Herzler. Crookie and I caught up with him this morning after he signed a new 3-year deal at Brighton and Hove Albion. And I started by asking him that with a higher points total than Roberto De Zerbi, Chris Hughton and Graham Potter per game since he'd been in charge at Brighton, it appeared that he's taken them on a little bit of a step. But how much further can he take them in the future?
Let's see. You never know what is in the future. But I think it's really important to understand what made us that strong. And I think it's the culture. It's the culture we built the last recent months and years. It's this togetherness we build. I think we're always known to come back to have like a good facing of these kind of different adversities. We always bounce back when times are hard. We always stay very humble and crowded when times are good. So I think it's crucial to have this strong culture around you and to have a good work ethic. I'm a big believer in working hard. I'm a big believer that good things will come to you if you work hard on a daily business, if you make out of daily behavior good habits, keep the standards high and try to always push yourself, try to push each other, hold each other accountable, build an environment where you support and challenge each other. And that's something we definitely try to focus on. But what I definitely want to emphasize it's I saw the statistic as well, and it's never one man show. It's always a thing we do together. So this would be never possible without my staff, without my players. So we try to keep on building on these things I just mentioned, and then let's see how the future is looking for us.
You mentioned the support of the hierarchy there. The life of a Premier League manager is probably more precarious than ever. We've got clubs in the Premier League who are on their fourth different manager of the season. We had a young manager at Chelsea who didn't last more than 44 days. When you were going through your bad patch mid-season, was there ever any fear that you might not be at the club come the end of the season, or did you always have that support from the board that no matter what happened, we're backing you, you don't need to worry about your job?
Yeah, exactly the opposite happens. And I think that's what makes this club so strong. So we always focus on performances. We never let us distract by results, because especially in the Premier League is so competitive. You can never predict what will happen in the next game. So therefore, you really need to focus on performances, on the things you can control, and individual development from the players. And there we are really demanding on each other, but we don't judge every week our performance by the result, because long term we all have to believe that performances will get the reward if the performances stay consistent and the performances are good. And that's how the club's working, that's how especially Tony the owner is working, and I think it pays off if you keep believing in the things you're doing. If you don't try to go left and then right, try to be really convinced with the idea you have, try to always stick to your own principles, stick to your values, then long term you will get the rewards. And that's what we try to live here in this club on a daily behavior. And therefore we are all very happy that it pays off, because like you just mentioned, there are different examples, especially also in the Premier League.
I have to ask, were you wearing an Aston Villa shirt last night in that Europa League semi-final? Because of course there's a scenario, if they finish fifth, win the Europa League, then sixth would be enough for Champions League football, and you're right in the mix for that position.
Yeah, I'm honest. I didn't wear Aston Villa jersey. So yesterday I watched all the 4 games, because there was also a German team involved in it with Freiburg, and they made history. So they did a great job, and there are also some coaches in charge that I really like and I really appreciate. So therefore I crossed my fingers as well for them, but also for Aston Villa. What they're doing is just incredible. What season they are playing. Unai Emery is one of the best coaches I've ever met. So therefore, definitely happy for them. But it's not that far that I'm wearing. It's not so far that I have to wear our Aston Villa shirt.
Everyone knows you're a younger coach, but you've surrounded yourself with experience on and off the pitch. Why has that been invaluable to you, and have you lent into that?
For me, one of the most important things, and I think it's underestimated in football, is you need to listen, or I need to listen more as a coach. Like, coaches always want to be the man who decide, and we need to decide things. We have to make the decisions in the end, and we have to take responsibility in the end for all the things that happens. But beside that, I think it's crucial just sometimes to listen more. And listening doesn't mean to be weak. Listening means to listen to, for example, very experienced players like James Miller, Lewis Dunk, Danny Welbeck, who experienced so much in their careers, who know exactly what it needs to win games. So from my side, beside that, it's the same thing with the staff. I mentioned it before, I have great staff members around me. I have staff members who worked in the Premier League for so many years. I have staff members who are more experienced than me. I have an owner who's more experienced than me. I have a CEO with Paul Barber, who had great achievements in their career. So also there, I always try to get feedback from them. I always try to listen to certain things, because there's always space for improvement. And that's how I always try to educate myself. I never want to be satisfied with my personal development. I'm always looking for the next improvement, where we can improve in this or in that area, where I can improve as a coach, as a person. And therefore, these kind of leadership around me, these kind of experience and opinions definitely help me. But what I always say, I always make decisions where I feel they are the best, where I feel that I'm 100% convinced of, and why I feel that are my values and my principles.
Obviously, we're at the stage of the season now where the transfer window is about to open. There's always going to be speculation about your players, particularly when results are going well. There's been noise about Carlos Baleba again as well. What have you made of his season? Because there was a stage early in the campaign when he seemed to be affected by those links to Manchester United, but are we starting to see the best of him again?
Definitely. And I think his development also reflects a little bit our season, highs and lows, but we keep going. We faced adversity and we go again. We had like setbacks, but we always stand up and we went again. And therefore, it's similar to him. He didn't have an easy season. He didn't have the season where he played one brilliant performance after another, but he always kept fighting. He always had to believe in himself, and therefore we built this environment around him where he could feel like safety, where he could impress and express himself, and therefore I think that was crucial to stay calm in certain moments where he struggled, to give him support, but also to challenge him in certain ways. And now it seems to pay off, and hopefully he can finish strong this season as well.
Be interesting to see what happens with Carlos Baleba over the course of the summer. I thought it was fascinating, actually, talking to him about the experience that he surrounds himself with. He gets sounding boards off of more experienced managers, and he gets sounding boards off of experienced coaches. But the fact that he said one of my jobs as a coach is to listen, and that we all want to be the man, we all want to be the one that makes the decisions, but ultimately we have to take information from all sources in order to get better.
Oh, of course you do, especially when you're a young manager. He's got so much to learn, hasn't he? But what I like about him is look like he doesn't take any crap from any of the players either. He doesn't care if a player's older than him. He wants that respect. And Brighton have got a chance this season to do some incredible things, because that Champions League place, 6th place, if Villa win the Champions League and Villa win Europa League and finishing 5th, is up for grabs from so many teams.
Do you know what we're seeing here? Mikel Arteta, reward for patience. Arsenal are going to win at least one trophy, maybe two. Unai Emery, I remember Villa fans, when they started the season badly, there were some Villa fans calling for his head. And certainly Fabian Herzler, I was fighting with numerous Brighton fans on Twitter when they were having a bad run. They wanted to change a manager. I said, stick by him. The board back him. Tony Bloom doesn't make bad decisions. He'll come good.
And conversely, all the teams that have changed their manager 15 times this season, like Chelsea, Forest, those teams have had a really great campaign, haven't they? And Tottenham.
Sam, it's a hell of a race, though, isn't it, for that 6th place? I know we got a break, but...
It is, and we'll come back to it a little bit later on. But Gabby's desperate to get some advice of what to do in Istanbul. So we'll ask the king of Istanbul next. Acun Ilicali is also the chairman of Hull. He's coming on the show next.
You want to come back as a racehorse. Honestly, it's so much better than being, a show jumper or a dressage or whatever. Racehorses get treated so well because at the end of the day, you need them to run as fast as you can and perform for you.
We got here at 5:30 and I was like, there's already people looking after the horses.
Yeah.
Already that early.
Massages earlier on.
Yeah.
The best feed.
Yeah,
4 times a day. We only get fed 2
We get groaned at by this
It's been my missus here. Look after.
I wanted to ask you about Sir Alex Ferguson, because obviously we all had that scare at the weekend when we heard this news about Sir Alex taking unwell. We believe that he's doing well. But is that what you guys had in common as well? Was that horse racing back in the day? Did you guys have that in common?
I spoke to him. I was on the phone to him for 40 minutes that morning.
Wow.
We're talking about football. We're talking about horses. As I say, he's got horses here. Most Saturday mornings, he gives me a call and we go through all the horses for the day, and we share, what we know and things like that. So we might have his horse running on Friday at Chester. So, yeah, I mean, I speak to him regularly, and he sounded absolutely brilliant, sharp as a tack, as normal. We were talking a lot about Scottish football and what was happening up there. So it was such a shock to hear, obviously, that the next day he was taken on well, but hopefully it's not too serious.
Have you spoken to him since, mate?
I haven't since, but I would expect a message on my phone any time now, because he'll see that we've got 4 or 5 runners today at Chester, and he'll be wondering what's going on. Which horse should he be looking at?
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan vans or head to your local Nissan van centre.
With your headlines at just coming up to 2 minutes past 11, I'm Nick Ellaby. Good morning. Ahead of their first European final in 44 years, Gabby Agbonlahor wants to see a new generation of Villa players become legend. He's picked out a few of last night's stars, starting with John McGinn.
For 2 goals, he was everywhere. Could have had a third. Pau Torres. He bullied Chris Wood. He bullied Igor Jesus. Ollie Watkins, that sort of performance that gets you on the plane. He bullied the whole back 4 of Nottingham Forest.
Unai Emery's Villa face Freiburg in the Europa League final. Meanwhile, with Crystal Palace just a Conference League final away from their second major trophy in 11 months, might we see a statue of the departing Oliver Glasner at Selhurst Park?
Yeah, hopefully I don't have to build it, because I don't know if you say the same in English. I have 2 left hands. Yeah. You say the same? Yeah. Then I have 3.
3 left hands. Now we're told Southampton have overstepped the mark ahead of their playoff semi-final with Middlesbrough.
That's blurred lines. That is. Spying that's frowned upon. Let's be honest. And if he's caught in the bush and then he's gone to the toilet to get chased, they've gone to some lengths for it. Let's be honest.
Former Saints striker Charlie Austin there, still backing Tonderek's side to win those playoffs. Borough versus Saints is live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow lunchtime. Hull versus Millwall live on talkSPORT tonight. World Cup ticket price update. Some of those on resale are now significantly cheaper than direct from FIFA's website, including for the USA's opening game against Paraguay. And heavyweight Dave Allen's looking forward to what he calls the biggest fight in British boxing.
This fight's the funny one, because I think Daniel Dubois is the better boxer. I think he hits hard. I think he's better at everything. But I don't think he has the same desire to win as Fabio Wardley does. And if this fight gets down the stretch, Wardley becomes a favourite.
We've got Wardley versus Dubois. Watch along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel tomorrow night.
talkSPORT News.
The Prime Minister vows to stay on as Labour leader after heavy local election losses, and South East Water's chief executive is stepping down. Emma has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. You can't trust the weather right now, but you can always trust Pirelli tyres. In stock now at your local centre. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Across the north, cloudy, heavy showers across northern England this afternoon. Elsewhere, sunny spells, showers developing, those heavy across Wales, the Midlands, southern and eastern England. Warmer for most of us, cooler across the northwest.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's Sam Matterface, Gabby Agbonlahor and Alex Crook, and we're here right the way through till 1 o'clock this afternoon. Lots of live football over the course of the weekend. In fact, tomorrow we've got live commentary of Liverpool against Chelsea. It kicks off at 12:30. Sunday, Crook and I will be at West Ham versus Arsenal for game day live, a crucial match. Absolutely crucial.
Massive.
And then Monday Night Football comes live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Tottenham take on Leeds United live and only on talkSPORT. And tonight we start our coverage of the Championship playoffs with Hull City in action against Millwall. We've got live commentary from Jim Proudfoot and Charlie Adam. I'm delighted to say the Hull owner, Acun Ilicali, joins us now. Acun, thank you very much for coming on the programme again.
Good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Happy to be here and excited, of course.
Great to have you. Let's talk about Hull City first of all. And they've only just clawed their way back in to the playoffs on the final day of the season. How nervy were you going into that last game? And what was the feeling at full time when you realised that you secured a place in the playoffs for the end of the season?
I mean, I like adrenaline. I like excitement. That's all my life. And it has passed with full adrenaline and excitement. But I was not expecting to just leave so much heavy games in two in a row in 2 years. You know, last year, Portsmouth away game was very crucial for us. We had the danger to go relegation. And this year, it was a game like going to playoffs. And for me, of course, extreme excitement. I can say that last 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes, it was completely a roller coaster for me.
And of course, you play Millwall tonight, and it wasn't that long ago that you were above them in the league. What have you made of the last few months of the season?
You are asking about, can I get the question again, please?
Well, it wasn't that long ago that Millwall, who you play tonight, were below you in the league. You were above them in February, I think. What have you made of the last few months of the season where momentum seems to have been with him? And will that count in the playoffs, do you think?
No, it is like this, I think. Fixture is very important in England. I mean, at the end of the championship, there are so many tough teams. And when you look at our 6-7 games, I can say that it was so tough. We were already knowing that last part of the season would be hard for us. So, yes, we were very good in February as a ranking, maybe. But last 6 games of us, Sheffield United away, Leicester away, Coventry home, Birmingham home. So you cannot expect to get too much points. So I think it's normal.
I just wonder how you feel about this success compared to what happened when Liam Rosenior was in charge at Tune and you missed out on a playoff place on the last day of the season. I think you felt at the time that the squad was good enough to get in the playoffs. Is this almost a pleasant surprise? Did you have serious promotion aspirations at the start of this season?
Actually, only we, as a Hull City fans and an owner, was very positive, except for us. Nobody was positive. So imagine a league starting, and I watched at least 10 predictions, and 9 of them, it was like we have been put like 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd in the league as a prediction. Nobody considered us to be in playoffs except for me, our fans, and our players. So we were knowing that we were a good team. Everybody believed in it. So for us, top 10 was the target. And actually, I can say that I was expecting top 10. But top 6, of course, playoffs is God's gift to us.
I remember playing against Hull in the Premier League during my career. Always a tough place to go and play. Always a tough team to play against. How important is it that Hull do get promoted, if not this season, in the next few years?
Of course, this is dream for us. Our fans, of course, all of them are excited. I am excited. My 4th season, fourth full season, I can say. So I can say that our dream is Premier League. For some fans, of course, when I'm with our fans all the time, when I come to the city, I spend some time all the time with the fans. Some of them are a little upset memories about Premier League. So they are worried that if we go to Premier League, maybe we will have too many negative results. But this is so normal. But if we go to Premier League, I already told the fans before, they know I'm crazy, but they will see how crazy I am if we go to the Premier League.
You have got a bit of a reputation, but you're a fun guy. And as you say, you like excitement and you demand the best from everybody around you. I know that we've talked about this before, about when you parted company with Liam Rosenior. A lot of that was down to the fact that the style of football wasn't right for you. It wasn't necessarily performance. You wanted the thrill, the excitement, the entertainment factor. Sergei Yakirovich has already exceeded expectation. If what you say is true, you thought maybe top 10, now into the playoffs. If he doesn't get promoted this year, will he get time to build going forward?
If he hadn't reached the playoffs, again, he was 100% safe. Because some people misunderstand me. I never look at the results. Not only results, I mean. Results is not the only reason that we give decision or I give decision. So one day before the game, crucial game, I had a Q&A with our fans because I wanted it one day before so that everybody has to understand what we feel about our coach. I think our coach is a unique personality, a very strong character, and very nice person, and very good coach. So one day before the game, we were with 300 of our fans. I made an organization, and I said to all our fans, whatever happens, our coach Sergei will be in charge next year. And there is no doubt about it. So because people think that about Liam, he was seventh, so they send him. Liam is a fantastic coach. I love him, and he went good places after us. But everybody likes one style of football. I think you also don't like every style of football. For example, some people like long balls, a little rugby style of football. Some people like technical side of football. You know, Brazil never plays the same way like Iceland plays. So completely everybody has its own taste of football. So for me, I want attacking football. From the first minute I bought the club, I said this. So I want attacking football. I want to be entertained and good results together. Of course, results is very important. We have dreams. But I want to see people, my players attacking, try to put all they can in the attacking side, of course, combined with a good defense. So Sergei just delivered this. So I'm very happy about him, extremely happy.
You mentioned Liam a couple of times there, and obviously you still hold him in high regard. What are your feelings about the fact that he only lasted 40-odd days as Chelsea manager?
I think very tough fixture he had, very tough fixture. I mean, every week he start playing with Arsenal, you know? So, I mean, if he had some easier games and he could have some time. I mean, Liam's style of football, I think, needs a full pre-season time with the players so that he can make his philosophy happen on the pitch. So you come in the middle of the season and there is lots of extremely quality players, and how can you just adapt your philosophy to this team? So results were bad. I think he would stay if he could have some more good games. But it happens in football. I mean, can you explain me, for example, Xabi Alonso went to Real Madrid. All of us said, oh, this is the top coach. He will be so successful. What happened, you know? So football, you never know the tomorrow.
Okay, we do know one thing that is certain, and that is that Aston Villa are going to go to Istanbul for the final of the Europa League. We know how famous you are in Istanbul, what a big personality you are in Istanbul. Gabby Agbonlahor used to play for Aston Villa. He's sitting in our studio, as he does every Friday. He is going to Istanbul. What does he need to experience in that city when he goes there with Aston Villa for the final?
He has to experience me, I think.
Yeah, you reckon? You're going to take him out? Yeah, take him on that boat that you took me and Crookie on, which we've only just recovered from.
Please, leave him to me. Leave him to me.
That sounds very good. I will leave myself to you, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take care of you. People love me in Turkey and in Istanbul, of course. Of course, it is a rule, my friend. Yes. Everywhere you go, if you go around with a guy who knows the city, is a different picture. Yes. If you know like a tourist, is a different picture. This is what I experienced in life. I've been to 110 countries in my life. And wherever I go, if locals take me around, I solve different cities. So just leave yourself to me.
Thank you.
I'll take care of you, and you will love Istanbul. It's going to be your beautiful city in the world.
We can't wait. We go in 10 days. And when Aston Villa fans, they love Hull City. Great football club.
Good luck in the playoffs tonight. Just one more thing before I let you go. There is a story doing the rounds today, and we're going to talk about it next, about the Southampton staff spying on Middlesbrough's training session before their semi-final of the playoffs. What do you think the punishment should be for that? And have you ever had an incident of that happen at your training ground?
Actually, in Fenerbahce, 15 days ago, it happened similar things, and now the thing you are talking about is about two big clubs. So in that kind of occasions, I would never comment anything about this situation because I don't know the details, and these are big clubs. I know Southampton owner, also he's a friend of mine, Dragan Solak, he's a good friend of mine, and actually big clubs, and this is a big accusation. So I don't want to be anywhere around this event like a comment because I don't have enough knowledge. And about punishment side, actually, in England, sometimes I'm surprised about some rules about punishments. So I wouldn't make again any comment. I'll just leave it to the officials.
Okay, thank you very much. A quick prediction for tonight. What do you think is going to happen?
Whenever I make predictions, we always lost. So my prediction is who deserves, I hope, goes to the final for both sides.
Good luck. Listen, thank you very much for coming on. We'll hook you up with Gabby for the next couple of weeks.
Sir.
We're looking forward to it. Acun Ilicali joining us live this morning. The Hull City owner ahead of their playoff semi-final, which is tonight, live on talkSPORT. We're going to talk Spygate 2.0 in just a second. What should Southampton's punishment be if they're found guilty? We'll do that next. With Selco Builders Warehouse, check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com. How are you, Bob?
All right, Bob.
Oh, buzzing. Absolutely.
Congratulations. Congratulations,
Yeah,
Bob.
Thank you very much.
Well
Thanks
done.
for being good sports and saying well done.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well, you know.
Hope you get pumped in the final.
Yeah. All of that.
Thank you very much. Is that against the Bayern Munich, who we've already beat 3-1? They didn't have a shot in the second half.
Doesn't matter. Let me tell you, don't. I wouldn't go down that route now. I wouldn't be. What I'll be doing.
But it doesn't matter when either of them teams can't even defend. None of them can defend.
Yeah, I would be very careful about talking about.
Arsenal have conceded 6 goals in the Champions League.
Yeah, I know, and defensively the best
goals.
side. But I'll be very careful about talking about what you've done in previous games because I seem to remember you actually beat PSG last season as well.
Haven't we kept more clean sheets than Bruno Fernandes assists this year? That's all we're talking about, Bruno Fernandes assists. If this was Manchester
do
City,
you know what, right?
oh my God, we'd be all over it though, wouldn't we? If this was Man City, oh, we'd all drop down and bow to them. We'd bend over.
Blob, listen, I wouldn't.
This is Arsenal. Everyone's against us. Everyone has slagged us off all season. Our corners, our set play, our boringness. Champions League final. Not a game lost. Top of the Premier League.
Blob.
Yeah, go on then, mate.
I'm talking to
go
you.
On then.
Right, listen,
say, lads.
what I would do, I'd be very careful about talking about
Sorry,
that.
can I just say this is the Pinot Grigio speaking. I'm on my second bottle here. Crack on.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How do you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
It is talkSPORT. Sam Matterface, Alex Crook, and bankrupt Gabby Agbonlahor.
He's in generous mood today, isn't he?
He's in generous mood. He's treating everyone. He's flashing his card around. I'll get you this.
Blood money.
Coffees for anyone. Anybody.
He's in a great
Anybody
mood.
I see today in Birmingham, in London, I'm just going to give you some positive energy. Do you know what I mean, Sam?
Yeah, it's a shame that you couldn't come out with us this afternoon.
I know, mate. I'm devastated, but
bit like one of those.
I paid the fine.
Yeah, well, that's a good point actually, because the EFL have launched an investigation into alleged case of spying by Southampton on Middlesbrough before the Championship playoff semi-finals. And the first leg of the semi-final takes place at the Riverside tomorrow. It's live on talkSPORT 2. The return is on Tuesday at St Mary's. Saints performance analyst was allegedly caught recording Borough training and taking pictures of tactics on Thursday morning. The staff member was caught, told to delete the footage and leave the area, and then, according to one newspaper report, was seen going into Rockcliffe Hall Hotel, which is also owned by Steve Gibson, getting into the toilets and changing their clothes before mounting their escape. Now, first of all, what would be the point of doing this, right? Bearing in mind all of the tools that you have at your advantage now as a football club. You've got Y-Scout, where you can watch every single game. Reserve game, under-18 game, under-21s game, every FL game, every possible match you can get hold of in some sort of footage from loads of different angles, and you can analyse it, break it down into different sort of guises. You can look at just one player, all players, everything. It's an amazing tool, and all clubs have something similar. You would have done you've got an analyst department, you would have done your research. What is the benefit of a geezer going up to the training ground with a pair of binoculars and an iPhone and recording a training session?
I think it's stupid. Like he says, Southampton will know exactly how Middlesbrough play. You know, like managers, coaching staffs will be watching Middlesbrough's last 10 games, for instance, and I do not want to see a fine. We know Leeds United got fined for it before the new rules brought in 200,000. To these owners, money isn't an issue. There's got to be something else that's got to be done to stop this happening again.
Well, what should be done to it? And is it that big a deal? Because a Saints supporter here, Jason Flynn, says, wow, are Borough really that worried by little old Southampton, that desperate and scared of us, that they want us thrown out? Sad.
Well, no, you can flip that around, can't you? Is Southampton really so scared of Middlesbrough?
Exactly.
They feel they need to go spying in the bushes. Listen, I'm not going to advocate them being thrown out. I think a fine is the punishment that was laid out last time around when this happened. So I think there needs to be a little bit of consistency. But it's all a bit pathetic, if you ask me.
But it is pathetic, but also it's worse, I think. It's more brazen this time around, because we know that the precedent was set when Bielsa and his team decided to do this. The rules were put in place to stop it from happening again. The EFL rule now states that no club shall directly or indirectly observe or attempt to observe another club's training session in the period of 72 hours prior to any match. If they are found guilty, what is the punishment that should be served on them?
It's what's the actual rule for the punishment? Because
Well, there is no precedent because nobody else has dared to do it in the 7 years.
Well, nobody else has been caught.
Well, no one's been found guilty of it. Yeah. So if they are found guilty of it, what should be the punishment?
Listen, people will say, should they be thrown out? But I think that is harsh.
Paul in Kent says they should be deducted points for spying from the final league table and therefore forfeit their place in the playoffs.
I'm sure fans of Wrexham would definitely agree with that. Do you know what it will do? And we got the first leg and we live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow. It's going to stoke up the Borough fans. You know, that is going to add to the atmosphere, and that might just work against Southampton over the two.
I'd love to know whose idea it was at Southampton to do that, because like you says, every game you can see now, you can do your prep, you'll know exactly how Middlesbrough play, their different styles of playing.
Why would you risk
it? And what are you going to learn? Like, it's not as if like, oh, is there a player that Middlesbrough is 50-50 to be playing?
To watch set pieces and the like, can't you?
It's embarrassing, isn't it, Crookie? That's the level we're getting to now.
Well, you're that concerned about the Borough set pieces. When bearing in mind,
I'm just trying to explain why they would be
Southampton
doing
have probably been one of the most formed teams over the last 6 months in the league. They've been fantastic at what they've done and achieved since Tonda come in, really.
I think it's got to be more than money, though, because I think other football clubs will look at it and say, oh, it's 200,000, no problem.
That's just a tax on cheating.
Exactly. No problem. 200, there you go. What do you want it? How do you want it?
You seem to be laughing this off as if it's nothing, but it is cheating.
I find it pathetic. You know, I think it's a bad look on Southampton. I don't see it as any more than that, really. Like Gabby said, what are they really going to gain? They might get a glimpse of a couple of set pieces, but there's so much analytical data available now, as you've already said, that I'm not sure it gives them much of an advantage to say. It might well work against them.
It is disrespectful to the other teams involved, though, isn't it?
100%. And like Crookie says, the Middlesbrough fans will be stoked up for it. And I think any neutral fan now will be not wanting Southampton to get to the Premier League this season.
I was just scrolling through there to see if Tonda, I don't know if he did his press conference yesterday or today, but obviously if it's today, he's going to be asked about it. It'll be interesting to see how he tries to.
Whose idea was it?
You asked them yesterday, didn't you? They didn't give you a comment.
No, they didn't. No. Neither club did, in fairness. But obviously Middlesbrough have made the complaint. The EFL have confirmed their.
It's that embarrassing. It doesn't feel real. It's that petty and embarrassing. A lot of you says, what are you going...
Did he go in camouflage, this fella?
Apparently he had to change his clothes in the toilet.
It's amazing.
I can see that at 24,
sort of like,
Jack
did the
Bauer.
whole sort of platoon thing and sort of muddied his face so he fit in with the bushes. It came out with a pair of night vision goggles.
My overriding emotion is that it makes Southampton look absolutely ridiculous.
John Webster says, lads, do whatever it takes to win. This is no big deal. Someone's spying. We call it scouting. The rules are killing football. It's all about winning. Come on. Southampton have been spying just to see if Hayden Hackney is fit, says Lee from Middlesbrough, not for tactical reasons.
That'll be funny though, Sam. I would love to see some footage of him when he got caught. Delete that. Okay. Imagine what he says. It starts stuttering. Come on, we're better than this as football. Come on.
I mean, iPhone cameras are pretty good, but I mean, can you not? I can't imagine that they would have picked up much more.
But this is what I'm saying. I think the best way to deal with it, they'll get a fine, and then let's just ridicule them.
Yes, agreed.
Punishment for Southampton, says Chrissy, easy. Just put a deduction of 3 points on them if they get to the Premier League. Season starts on a negative.
I don't think they would need any help in terms of relegation, judging by how they fared last time round in the Premier League.
It'd be interesting to see what you think. 03717223344. You can WhatsApp us on that number. You can text us as well. 81080.
What are you both thinking about these playoffs? Who's your favourite, Sam?
Well, my favourite was Southampton to get through. Yeah, I've got to be honest with you. But
we'd like Hull, though, wouldn't we? For a tune and for Dean Hull.
But I have to admit, after hearing this, I really hope that Hull City... I mean, I want Hull City to go up anyway, because we've got Istanbul's favourite son, who's a friend of the show. But... crikey, I do think they've damaged their reputation again, Southampton.
Spot on, mate.
037.
They're a difficult club to like at the best of times.
223344 is the number to call. This is talkSPORT, and we've got the wonderful Dan Towles coming on very shortly to talk to us from BetMGM.
to join Arsenal was the biggest achievement in my career, but the way the things end up was a little bit not nasty. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. They are happy. They know, you know what, life goes on. If you ask me if I regret, I don't regret. I'm happy also giving them something back, because at the end of the day, if I can't represent and defend my parents, I don't know who would do it for me. So it's kind of doing my job.
You're spot on, Emmanuel. I don't blame you at all. I would have done the same, mate.
Thank you.
Looking at the title race, Manchester City messing up against Everton. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think will win it in the end?
Who do I think will win it? If you ask me today, I will still tell you that I think Man City will win it, but I would like Arsenal to win it, because it has been over a decade. They have been fighting for that. Even when I was there, we were fighting for it. Obviously, in April, then sometime in March and April, it's all over, and we drop points at Wigan, at Bolton, wherever you can call it. Then we saw the league sliding out of our hand. But this year they're doing quite well, and the good thing is that defensively they are very good. But now they have to win the last 3 games to win the league. And obviously, Man City again dropping points at Everton. They will come back stronger. They will manage with their manager, with the players, with the experienced team they had. They will do everything possible to win the last 3 games and wait for Arsenal to drop points so they can be champion. But trust me, it's not going to be an easy task for both of them. Let's see.
The Jedi Master of the Europa League, Unai Emery, has done it again.
Good evening. Yes, absolutely.
With Amadou Onana injured, Emery played centre-back Victor Lindelof in midfield.
He's a fantastic guy, fantastic professional. He has experience. He played out of matches like that. He played sometimes as a midfielder, and of course, was not necessary to explain him a lot.
Villa routed Nottingham Forest 4-0 to reach their first European final in 44 years. They'll face Freiburg in the final, who are 7th in the Bundesliga. A fist-pumping Prince William celebrated in the dressing room with the players. Without the injured Morgan Gibbs-White, Forest only managed 2 shots on target, and Vitor Pereira says he doesn't know if Gibbs-White will play again this season. Meanwhile, in the Conference League, Ollie Glasner says if anyone still doubted his team's character, just look at Palace's second goal.
We never forget, this is the reward for last year's achievement, for winning the FA Cup. And I want that you enter the pitch being proud and with this happiness, because it's the reward.
Crystal Palace are into their first ever European final. They'll play Rayo Vallecano in Leipzig. Southampton have been asked to explain why a staff member was spotted filming Middlesbrough's training session. Saints go to Borough in the Championship playoff semi-final, live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow lunchtime. Tonight, Hull host Millwall, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. And the pioneer of the Luke Littler versus Mo Farah marathon debate, Dave Allen, who also boxes in his spare time, has given his take on tomorrow's juggernaut bout between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois.
Always pick against him, but I'm getting proven wrong nearly every time. So yeah, I'm going to go for Dubois, just because I always pick against Wardley, and why break a habit now? But you know, it's a 9 50-50, and that's another reason why it's such a great fight.
Listen and watch along live tomorrow on talkSPORT and the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel.
It's talkSPORT with Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're here through till 1 o'clock this afternoon. So much live football this weekend to get our teeth into. The playoffs start. We love the playoffs on talkSPORT. We've got all the finals, by the way. What a lineup of finals we've got for you coming up. The FA Cup final, the Championship playoff final, League One, League Two playoff final, the Europa League final, the Champions League final, the Conference League final. May is massive. Let's get into the big action with BetMGM.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. We're ready for the action. Are you? Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
After having a strop about not being invited on the team day out, Dan Towers has not turned up today.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Doesn't surprise me, to be honest, mate.
Charlie Robertson is here, though. Hi, Charlie.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Thank you very much. Do you know what? It is embarrassing when you have such a he's turning into a bit of a diva. Is it because he's become a bit of a big star on a Friday now that he feels that if he doesn't get what he wants, he can just throw his toys out of the pram?
Yeah, I think he's pretty sad. He's not partying with you guys this afternoon. There was a few sad messages this morning. So
he's never allowed out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys pick that one up. I'll let you guys pick that one up. But I think he's he's definitely feeling a bit left out this morning.
Well, we've invited him. To be fair, it's Maya's fault. She was supposed to invite everybody, and she missed out Scott Minto. She missed out Dan Towles. Wow. She missed out everyone. And Gabby was the only one she was really interested in. She's got the biggest wallet.
And he missed out Ollie, who often produces this show.
Ollie, yeah,
well,
great guy. Ollie Stevenson, great guy.
Yeah,
great guy.
Outrageous, really. So tell him to direct his messages towards her. Anyway,
I will.
Sorry, only joking.
One of the good guys.
BetMGM darts was last night. Is the truth that actually he was at the darts last night in Leeds?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought might be. Yeah. But also another stunning night of darts.
Yeah. Luke Littler he's really come into his groove, hasn't he, Sam? 3 nightly wins in a row, just 4-6 to win the tournament now. He very much looks the one to beat and would be his second title if he could. Beat Luke Humphries last night, who obviously is a big Leeds fan. We do still make him and Go Price the biggest challengers to Littler at 11-2, but I think the value's got to be Johnny Clayton, who's been brilliant so far. Obviously won 4 nights, already qualified for the O2 finals, and he's 13-2 for a second title. So I think he's probably the value, Sam. But Littler, he does look the serious sort of very solid favourite and the one to be at 4-6.
We will definitely be back here on the Friday after the grand final, which is not too far away. We're going to the grand final. We've all been invited, haven't we, by BetMGM? You're coming, aren't you?
I'll be there.
You'll be there as well. Get 'em.
I think I'll be in Istanbul still.
Oh.
Now I've got the Mr. Istanbul himself. He's going to look after me. Maybe I'll stay there for a month and work from Istanbul.
Yeah, possibly. Well, we'll definitely turn up after a big night at the darts. Don't worry about that. Charlie. Championship preview. Who turns up for this one? Because Hull versus Millwall tonight. Southampton against Middlesbrough. All eyes are going to be on that one.
Yeah. If we start with the Hull game tonight, Sam. The visitors the slight favourites. Millwall at 5-4. The draw 23-10, and Millwall are 43. Oh no, I've said that wrong. And sorry, Hull are 43-20. So I'll get my facts straight eventually.
Where's Dan Towles again?
Yeah, exactly. And then, big game tomorrow as well. Southampton unbeaten in 19, the Championship, really informed side. They're 21-10, Borough 13-10, the draw 9-4. Gents, I wanted to have a look at sort of the promotion races as a whole, really. I was looking this morning and I was actually a little surprised to see Millwall the favourites to go up at 7-4. I thought Southampton have got to be the value at 9-4, Middlesbrough 5-2 and Hull at 6-1. I'm probably a little bit biased given my dad's a Southampton season ticket holder, but I do think, given the form they're in, they're the value. Do you think that's fair, or do you think Millwall
wasn't your dad in the bushes at the Borough training ground, was it?
Not that I know of, Crookie, no. But
I think Southampton are the best team of the 4, absolutely. But you just wonder, have they peaked too early? They went on that brilliant run at the end of the season, missed out on automatic promotion. Hull snuck in on the last day.
Sometimes it works like that.
You just wonder, don't you?
And Middlesbrough, I didn't think actually played particularly well in their final game of the season against Wrexham. They were a little bit too open. They gave up too many chances.
Their form tailed off as well.
Their form tailed off towards the end of the campaign. So, look, I actually think that sometimes it's about momentum, isn't it? Millwall, I do think, have had that over the course of the last few months of the season. So I can understand why they are favourites. They're a physical side as well, and they've done a brilliant job under Alex Neil. I actually think this is the hardest playoff race to call for a very long time, actually. And even last year, we would never have predicted that Sunderland would go up, would we? You know, and even in that final itself, they probably weren't even favourites at any point during the 90 minutes until Tommy Watson scores that goal late on. So, look, I do think that's what is great about it, the end of season jamboree, that you don't really know who's going to go up.
Yep, I agree.
I completely agree, Sam. It's wide open, and as our prices sort of explain that, I think, obviously, as I said with my dad, I'll be rooting for Southampton, but I think all of those sides have got a genuine chance, which makes it really exciting, doesn't it?
Talking of exciting, golden goals. Crookie, how did you get on last week?
Okay.
I'd have won it, but for Sonny Lemons and his bag clearance.
So you didn't get another
And
one?
I also put up the first goal scorer, so it
weeks in a
should have
row.
been £1,000 in the pot. I actually think BetMGM should pay out for my Cunha first goal shout.
To be fair, they're taking you to the darts in a couple of weeks. Just be
This is for
satisfied.
charity. For charity.
Yes, Golden Goals, our free-to-play game. We always make a prediction on some of the upcoming games on Golden Goals. If we correctly guess the exact scoreline, then BetMGM will donate £500 to our chosen charity, Prostate Cancer UK.
That's right, Sam. Yeah, hopefully we can put some more money in that pot. Gabby, we'll kick off with you. You've got Fulham versus Bournemouth.
This is a really hard game to predict because Fulham were fantastic against Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago. Really looked up for the game. Still can qualify for European football. But Bournemouth, you know, if they win, they put pressure on Aston Villa, who are away to Burnley on the weekend. They can still get in the top 5, Bournemouth. But 6th place might be enough to get Champions League football. Tough one to predict, but I'm going to go 2-2. Hard-earned draw for Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth, I think they're unbeaten in 15 in the league. They are one of the informed sides at the moment, but they haven't actually won in their last 4 at Craven Cottage. 3 of those were draws, Gabby, so I think 2-2 looks a fair shout.
I knew that.
That's a 17-2 chance. Sam, over to you for City against Brentford.
Manchester City, I don't think we're at their best against Everton on Monday night. In fact, a little bit too casual. After going 1-0 up, they didn't put the game to bed, and I thought that was a big mistake. That horseshoeing around the edge of Everton's penalty area with 80% possession and not making it pay. Credit to Everton for defending well. But I tell you what, Brentford will be more of a threat. You saw them last week against West Ham. I was at the game at Old Trafford where actually they deserve to take something more from that match, and I don't think they're to be sniffed at. So I'm going to go 2-2.
Yeah, obviously City been really good in the league this season at home. I think they're unbeaten in 15, but they have been held to a draw 3 times there all this year, actually. And as you said, Sam, Brentford were really good against West Ham last week, weren't they? 3-0, and they did play well against United before that. So this could be a tricky fixture, I think, for Pep's side, and that 2-2 prediction is 12-1, which I think looks quite a big price considering all those factors. Crookie, finally, you've got 2 sides, very different aspirations in West Ham and Arsenal. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, massive. But, you know, one of the biggest games of the weekend. We're going to be there for Game Day Live on Sunday. What a week it's been for Arsenal. Destiny the title now in their own hands after City's failure at Everton. I was there on Tuesday night as they beat quite an average Atletico side, but nonetheless, they won that semi-final. They're in the Champions League final. I'm going to go Arsenal to win 2-1. I just think they're going to have too much for West Ham, and that could be the final nail in the coffin as far as the Hammers are concerned.
Yeah, Arsenal, best away record in the league, and they've actually won their last 2 trips to London Stadium by an aggregate of 11-2, so they have got a great record there. I think, as you say, Cricket, they'll probably just find a way to win, won't they? The momentum really feels with them. That picks a 13-2 chance, Sam, and hopefully we can put a few quid in the pot for Prostate Cancer this weekend.
Let's hope so. West Ham are unbeaten in their last 6 home Premier League matches, but they've lost all 5 of their home London derbies in the Premier League this season. No team in English league history have ever lost 6 home games against fellow London teams in a season. We'll see what happens on Sunday on Game Day Live. We're there from 1:30. Charlie, thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Send our regards to Dan and give him an Alka-Seltzer. That was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to BetMGM. Visit betmgm.co.uk or download the app 18+. Be gambleaware.org.
It's showtime on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Keep things golden with responsible play at betmgm.co.uk. 18+, gambleaware.org.
What a cracking end to Hearts Rangers earlier in the week. We were watching that. It was absolutely fantastic on Monday afternoon. This weekend promises to be even better. We'll get into it next on talkSPORT.
because I've got nothing against Forest, and I think it would be great for that football club and their fans.
No, whoever gets through to the final out of the Europa League, I want them to get beat in the final.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you? You're horrible.
I just want. No, why, I don't understand.
Horrible person.
So that makes you a nice person, does it? Because you want to win.
Well, it's not about being nice, but it's just like, why? I get it. If Chelsea or Arsenal, Spurs, I get all that. Rivalry. No rivalry with Nottingham Forest.
No, I don't want Palace to win it if they get to the final.
You don't want Palace to win the Conference League?
No, I mean less concerned about that. It's to play for Palace, and I'm backing them.
Yeah.
4 games on road.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do you know what? Maybe Palace. Maybe I'd know. Do you know what? Catch me at the time. I'm so nonplussed by it, but I definitely don't want Villa win it. Definitely don't want Forest to win it. Definitely, 100% don't want them winning it. I don't want Spurs winning it. Don't want Arsenal winning it. Don't want West Ham. Don't want Man United winning it. Liverpool. None of them.
Oh, you know,
no, don't want anyone winning.
You're a bitter old man.
Yeah, good. I enjoy being it. I like being that man.
Greg, listen, mate. Thanks for your call. I'm going to go to Carl. He's a Fulham fan. Would you want Fulham to win it?
Nope.
Carl.
All right, Carl.
Hello, hold on. Hello.
All right, Carl.
Hi, guys. You okay?
Yeah, mate. Go on. What do you want to say?
I think it's great that an English.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
talkSPORT, it's Matterface, it's Alex Crook and it's Gabby Agbonlahor. Going to talk Scottish football in just 1 second, but we have had a wonderful, absolutely wonderful AI picture sent in by Barnsey, who has mocked up Gabby Agbonlahor in camouflage in the bushes watching Nottingham Forest training. Were you the spy at the Nottingham Forest training ground? Is that why they did so well last night?
In the bushes. Doesn't sound right, does it?
It certainly doesn't. That's for sure. We'll try and get it up and try and put it on the screen at some point over the course of the next hour. Oh, we've got to see it. It's absolutely sensational. My favourite thing from last night, by the way, was your roll call at the top of the sports bar.
Oh, it's hilarious, mate. Honestly,
did you revel in doing that last night?
You know what? When Villa win big games, I'll do an Instagram live. Don't really do it anymore. You know, it's COVID time. Instagram live was big. And the hilarious, mate. Because all we can see on the comments is, what are you celebrating for? You said Arsenal couldn't celebrate.
But it was the fact that you were going, you're doing the Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen?
Has anybody seen Boots the Chemist?
That cracked me up.
Hooters. Close
Sherwood Forest.
Close Hooters.
And the one
Briar Tuck, that had me going.
Well, the one I wanted to throw in there, because I've been speaking to Chris Wokes, and he says that Stuart Broad has been giving him some after the first leg.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give Chris Wokes a shout out. Top guy, top Villa fan.
Right, okay, let's speak to Bill Leckie, who will be covering the title race in Scotland this weekend. Hearts and Celtic left fighting for the title. Rangers still have a say, Bill, but they're 7 points now behind the leaders with 3 to play. They can't win it, but they can decide who will.
Well, you know, it might be one of these days where Rangers could go to Celtic and they could get a result on Sunday and their fans will still be miserable because they'll realise that it's just too late. They'll have turned up too late. Monday night at Tynecastle, they were a goal up at half-time. They had the game in front of them. And again, they were fragile. So often under Danny Role, they've been fragile. And now this is the weekend when Hearts will be looking to try and get to the verge of history. They'll be wanting to beat Motherwell tomorrow night and hoping that Celtic drop points on Sunday.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Celtic are playing Rangers at Parkhead, and obviously Hearts have got Motherwell. They're in the box seat. They'll be in an even bigger box seat if they win that game. Motherwell playing some good football and have been very well talked about and thought about over the course of this season, although they dropped points against Falkirk last week, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're an excellent team, though. Under James Bertalascu, they've been a revelation. He's a proper manager. He takes players that nobody fancies and he turns them into real good players. And they've just fallen away the last few weeks, but they can still make Europe, so they've still got a lot to play for. I was at Tynecastle a few weeks ago when they were ahead against Hearts and ended up losing. So Hearts, this is a big test for them. They're taking 4,000 fans with them. It's live on TV Saturday night. It's a massive, massive night for Hearts.
How much credit do Hearts deserve and Derek McInnes? Because all season I've been seeing the pundits doing the games and on the radio saying, no, they'll fall off, Hearts. They'll fall off. It hasn't happened in years, but they really haven't, have they?
They've been magnificent, Gabby. Derek McInnes, again, is a proper manager. He's a really, really good guy. He's a really good manager. Tactically brilliant. His little tweaks during games are brilliant. And he knows how to get the best out. He's one of these guys, you'll have worked with these guys who just know how to get the best out of you, you know? And he's done that. I fancied them to split the Old Firm this season. But in December, I said back then the league was theirs to lose because I just thought they were better than the other two. They've used the transfer market better. They get more out of their players. They're a happier squad, happier club. And they'll be sitting there just now, Gabby, saying, we're nearly there, but it's still miles away, if that makes sense.
Of course. If they do win it, though, do they have to go again? You know, they've got great ownership. Do they have to go again in the summer transfer window and keep the pressure on? So not just have it as a one-off SPL win.
No. Well, Martin said something like that, didn't he, when he came on the show? He said that they can still be challenging next year as well.
Yeah.
This is the start for Hearts. Tony Bloom's been a game changer for them. He's come in with his analytics and a bit of money and the drive that he's got. You know what he's like. You see what he's done at Brighton and over in Belgium. He's an incredible operator. And I think this is the start for Hearts. I think they're miles ahead of where they thought they would be this season. Remember, last season they didn't even make top 6. This season, Tony Bloom wanted them to be disruptors. You know, maybe to split the Old Firm. But look where they are with 3 games to go. They've been top of the league since the last week in September, apart from one day last month. They are a phenomenon this season. Phenomenon.
How big a factor is the fan backdrop going to play in this game? Because I know Ali McCoyce was not happy when one of our reporters, Paul Mitchell, was saying that actually the right decision has been made in terms of ticket allocation. Ali, as you probably would as a former Rangers man, firmly blames Celtic for the disorder at their Scottish Cup quarter-final. Where do you stand on it?
I have never believed there's any moral high ground between Rangers and Celtic. They have had an element of fans and a way of behaving my whole life that has, I think, been shameful to Scottish football. The whole sectarianism thing, that's what's behind it all. So they have this thing where they go, look, it's not us, it's them. It's always the same. Most people outside the Old Firm will tell you that they see them as, you know, two sides of the same coin when it comes to these things. There's been years when there's been no away fans at all. I actually thought they should have been back to no away fans at this one. But listen, Rangers have got the support they have, a couple of thousand fans. But it's not about what fans are in the stadium. It's about what team turns up. And the Rangers team this season, they've done well to come back from where they were under Russell Martin. But too often under Danny Role, they've played for 45 minutes out of the first half or the second half. And that's what's taken them out of the title race.
Well, basically, let's just give it a bit of context. Because Celtic offered tickets to Rangers on the strict condition that no seats were given to the Union Bears fan group, claiming the group was involved in serious violence and disorder during the Scottish Cup quarter-final in March. The Union Bears actually voluntarily withdrew from the ticket pool to ensure the club could take the full allocation. They've got 2,400 tickets. Rangers referred the matter to the SPFL. They were rebuffed by that. The league refused to overrule Celtic's safety risk assessment, which is why we are where we are at the moment. But back on the pitch, you mentioned there about Danny Role. Is he under pressure after just 6 months?
Yes, and I'm surprised at how quickly it's turned for him. But I think what the fans are seeing is, for instance, on Monday night, they're a goal up at half-time. They're playing really well. Derek McInnes made what was a fairly obvious change at half-time. Takes off a number 10, puts in an extra midfield player. The game changes. Danny Rowe doesn't react. And Rangers fans will tell you that too often this season, he hasn't reacted to situations. And suddenly Rangers are 2-1 down, and he just basically throws 6 men up front. And it was not enough. It was too little, too late. And,
the squad's not very good, though, is it? I mean, it's not a managerial problem. It's the fact they've invested badly.
Well, they've invested very badly. They've spent an awful lot of money on not very much. And one of the big ironies is the winning goal on Monday night scored by Lauren Shankland, who Rangers could have had any time over the last 2 or 3 years and decided not to go for. And there's a snobbery about Rangers and about Celtic, but more about Rangers, that they won't sign players from Scottish teams because they think they need to be bigger than that. So this season they've filled their squad with players who are quite talented but don't have the character to understand what it takes to win in Scotland. People think the Scottish League's Mickey Mouse, but the intensity is incredible. And a lot of them can't handle it.
Well, we're going to find that out over the next couple of weeks, aren't we? That is for sure. Bill,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
No problem.
Once again, brilliant as always. Bill Leckie, a Scottish football journalist who is always superb whenever he comes on this show to give us a context of what's happening in the SPFL. And it is worth pointing out that Celtic against Hearts on the final day of the season could be absolutely huge. There's a little bit of controversy about that and the way that fixture has been arranged as well, which I'm sure will be brought up in the fullness of time. Big fixture tomorrow, live on talkSPORT, 12:30. It's Liverpool against Chelsea. Liverpool have had some problems with injuries going into this game. Chelsea have just had problems. We'll discuss it next.
But this week, the boys have been out and about and spoken to the two fighters. And on Fabio Wardley, it was interesting to hear from him. He was asked, how do you see the fight playing out come Saturday night?
Don't get me wrong, I'm a problem from the beginning to the end. But especially in the beginning of fights, I think I'm very sharp. I'm very switched on. I'm never trying to hang around. Like I'm not trying to drag it out any longer than it needs to be, and especially not with someone who punches like Daniel does. I'm there to kind of get through him and take him off and get him out of there as quick as possible. So I'm going to be dangerous throughout, but don't get me wrong, especially in the early stages.
No matter how the fight goes, at some point you will bring him into the trenches. What happens when you do that?
I think we all know what happens there. I think I'll run him over, like in the trenches, in the deep waters of it. That's where I'm at my best. That's where I compete the best. That's where I've got a clear advantage over Daniel. And if he wants to meet me there, then best of luck to him. But I don't think he will.
Does this end in stoppage?
Sorry?
Does this end in a stoppage?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Look, whether it goes in the first or goes in the 12th, but one way or another, he's getting out of there.
Fabio Wardley is unbeaten with 1 draw in his record, 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw. Dubois has 22 wins in his record with 3 defeats.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon with your sports headlines. I'm Will Hobbs. Villa legend and overall legend Stilian Petrov told us Unai Emery had everything in place for an amazing Europa League win and says under the manager John McGinn's playing better than ever.
He understands the game. He sees the pitch in a different way. He's really patient with his position on the pitch.
McGinn scored twice in just over 2 minutes in last night's 4-0 deforestation. Meanwhile, here's what silverware magnate Ollie Glasner's been saying to his high-flying Eagles before every Conference League game.
We never forget, this is the reward for last year's achievement, for winning the FA Cup. And I want that you enter the pitch with this being proud and with this happiness, because it's the reward. Yeah.
One more to go. Shakhtar brushed aside at Selhurst Park. Palace face Rayo Valenciano in the final. Some World Cup tickets on FIFA's resale site are now less than half the price of the ones FIFA are selling direct. You can get a Category 1 seat for USA's opener against Paraguay for £957. Meanwhile, a takeover of the Chiefs by the American owners of Premier League club Bournemouth has been approved. Ben Stokes has already picked up a wicket in his first game back since facial surgery. In his second over, in fact, the England captain's opening the bowling for Durham at Worcestershire, and tomorrow night we'll see the biggest fight in British boxing. That's according to heavyweight Dave Allen.
Probably not as big as Fury Joshua will be commercially. That'll fill out Wembley in probably half an hour, but in terms of a contest between two men at the best, fighting for the biggest prize in sport, it don't really get any bigger.
Dave has Daniel Dubois as favourite to beat Fabio Wardley, but thinks Wardley will have the edge if the fight goes the distance. We've got to watch along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
With Farage on the charge, has Starmer lost the dressing room? And one of Britain's first gay surrogate dads is due in court accused of rape and human trafficking. Amelia has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The tyre transfer window is hotting up and we've signed a multi-generational talent with Continental Tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Heavy afternoon showers expected in the north. Sunny spells and showers in most other areas. Slightly warmer today, but cooler across the northwest.
talkSPORT, Sam Matterface with Alex Crook, and we've got Gabby Agbonlahor here. So if you've been wondering where Gabby has been over the last 48 hours, I mean, apart from being on the radio every single 5 minutes, which is obviously why Martin Keown is so annoyed with him, he's also been moonlighting as a scout for Aston Villa at the training ground. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook now, you can see a picture of Gabby. Proof that he's been spying for Villa's coaching team.
Yeah, I couldn't see Gibbs White in training. So I phoned Unai. No Gibbs White. No Sangare. No Murillo. Wow, that looks real, doesn't it?
Do you know what? The worst thing about that photograph that Barnesy has sent in, which is now live on our YouTube page, if you want to get a description of it, it's the Forest training ground in the background and Gabby in sort of proper, he looks like a bit of a Yeti, dressed in sort of fake grass. It's called a
hair as well there. I like that.
It's definitely more hair than you've actually got.
Exactly.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.
Looking for a pair of binoculars. The worst thing about this picture is how real it looks.
I know. It's scary, isn't it?
It is really scary.
It's scary. I mean, Sam, I've got big plans for Turkey, though.
Have you?
I might get my hair done.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a week there.
No, they can only do it. They can only do it as a transplant. They can't miracle grow.
No, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
I've already made the calls. I'm going to come back with a nice afro.
Mate, I'm not joking. That'd be the biggest comeback since Rob Holding's here.
You're not going to go as well, Crookie? You got a bit thin?
I think I'm absolutely fine.
You're good.
Quite the opposite, in fact.
Just for men.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, bearing in mind you were so good with those bushes, Gabby, could you sort out his hair? Because that definitely needs a cut.
It's a bit grey, isn't it?
It gets grey when it gets longer. When they cut it, yeah.
Do you dye your hair like some other people?
No.
Okay.
I did try it once, actually.
Did you?
What happened?
Yeah. And my daughter thought it was ridiculous, so I never did it again.
Let's speak about our big game tomorrow. It's Liverpool against Chelsea. It's live on talkSPORT. 12:30. Stuart Pearce will be alongside me at Anfield. And one of the questions at yesterday's pre-match press conference, which was delayed, actually, Callum McFarlane was quite late for that pre-match press conference, was whether or not the Chelsea players had down tools. This was his reaction.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. The performances haven't been good enough. We're in a really bad run at the moment. The Leeds performance was a glimmer where we thought we could build on that, and we weren't able to do that. But I do see these boys every day, every training session, every meeting in the gym. They're in a good place to go and attack games. We just haven't been able to translate that on the game on Monday. So hopefully we can improve that on Saturday.
Hopefully we can improve that on Saturday. They've got to, otherwise they will lose 7 games in a row in the league for the first time in their history.
Don't sound real, does it? 6 games in a row Chelsea Football Club have lost in the Premier League. That's the first time since 1933 Chelsea have done that. I just don't trust these players, Cookie. I know you're big on Chelsea players. They turn up for the cup games, but the Premier League games, Cole Palmer's been poor. I look at one player that I didn't think would ever drop off, Caicedo.
Yeah.
Recent weeks, he's not following his runners.
How much of that is down to the fact they played all summer?
No, nonsense. PSG got to that final.
They did, but they had the first half of the season. They weren't great either.
Well, they're in the Champions League final now, so they came good at the right time.
Maybe they timed it a little bit better than
You're
Chelsea.
making excuses for a bunch of overpaid
I'm not making
prima donnas. You've got a rookie manager there. He's got to come out and say that. But that, to me, was the interview of a deluded manager. The Leeds game in the semi-final wasn't a glimmer of hope. Quite the opposite, in fact. It would prove to me that he's got a dressing room full of imposters. As Gabby has said, they turn up when they fancy it. Yeah. They down tools when they don't. And if I was a Chelsea fan, I would find this group of players very difficult to like.
I don't think there's anybody who's making excuses for them. But there are mitigating factors. The constant changing of the managers as well. The constant
they got the last one fired.
Of what's going to happen in the future with the owners and how they're going to approach things. I think that also plays into it as well. But there's no doubt that the fan base is absolutely furious with the way that not only the players are not applying themselves, but also the way that the club is being run. Only this week, the Chelsea Supporters Trust says it overwhelmingly rejects the club's proposed changes to its ballot system, knowing that they have got such a big PR problem. Why would they go down a road where they're going to sell tickets in such a manner that they know is going to infuriate them?
Because they're arrogant. The ownership are arrogant. The players are arrogant. The football club has become very arrogant. They don't care. They don't care what the man on the street thinks.
As well, the ownership haven't got a clue. I'm seeing clips, I think, of De Zerbi watching a game at Chelsea recently, and he's laughing and joking with the Chelsea owners. I'm just like...
He was in their box.
Yeah, he's like one of your rivals. You're playing them in recent weeks. Everything they're doing is just wrong. Like, these players, yes, they're to blame, but this ownership have to in the summer say, all right, then, we had a plan, it didn't work. We now have to change it. Our transfer policy, we have to go and bring in experienced players.
They have said they're going to do more ready-made players coming into the squad, and they are going to have a period of reflection.
Talk is cheap.
Sam, you're a Chelsea fan. Name the players that can have their head held up high. Come on.
It's a really difficult season. João Pedro, obviously, has been terrific. 20 goals this season. He's been brilliant over the course of the campaign.
Garnacho.
Next one.
It's been hard.
No more. Just one.
I don't think.
Reece James times no.
He's been injured for half of the campaign. You know, and he's played more games actually, Reece, than he has done.
Doesn't
recently.
it sum up the poor teenager Jesse Derry gets wiped out of the game, ends up in hospital, wins a penalty, and then Cole Palmer misses said penalty. That not epitomise your football club?
Which he never does.
It epitomises Chelsea at the moment.
Listen, I think Cole Palmer's a different case as well, because Cole is someone who basically single-handedly carried Chelsea last season to the Conference League final victory and the victory in the Club World Cup. But it's become a very difficult place to enjoy your football. Like, you know, to watch football on a regular basis there. Listen, Chelsea, I don't think that the Chelsea model is particularly, is all bad, throw it out the window, get rid of it. I think there's some good things about it. You've got to be a little bit more self-sustaining. You've got to make sure that there's a future of the football club. They've got to think about somehow trying to build a new stadium to raise the revenues. But what you can't do is you can't sit there and spend the money that they have spent. And then when you get to the end of the season that we are now, you look at the squad list that is available and go, well, there's nothing there. There's not a single player in that group, apart from Enzo Fernandez, who's obviously a talented player, apart from Cole Palmer. There isn't a single player. But there's not a single player in that group that Arsenal or Manchester City are going to come with. Apart from Fernandez and maybe Cole Palmer.
But what they've become is a football club who buy players for its own sake. The only reason they bought Mykhailo Mudryk was because they wanted to prove a point to Arsenal. That's turned out to be an
they overpaid for him as well.
disaster. They were so desperate to get Enzo Fernandez. I remember being on with Jim White on that transfer deadline day. Todd Bowley was doing the deal himself over in Portugal, I think it was. He came from Benfica, didn't he?
Yep.
And he was going to pay any price to get that deal done, again, because they wanted to make a statement. Why do they sign Garnacho? He stinks out dressing rooms. But he doesn't improve the squad.
That's completely.
Why do they sign Jamie Gittins? Not good enough.
The Enzo Fernandez thing was an ego thing. There's so much of that.
So was Mudryk,
right? But the Garnacho thing was a value in the market thing, because there's no doubt that
he's rubbish.
Okay, his performances haven't been great, but there's no doubt that at one point you thought he was talented. Of course you did.
Long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, let's be honest. There was that picture of Rasmus Højlund and Mainu and Garnacho all sitting on the advertising hoardings, and that was going to be the iconic.
Two of them have gone.
Image
Sam,
of the
but you look at Chelsea, big football club, and can you name a game where Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, that have literally not tried? You can name 10, 15 games this season, the Brighton game.
Okay, no, I'll go back to there were times.
How long ago?
Different players were in the Manchester United dressing room. That the United fans were exactly where Chelsea fans are now. Maybe not to this degree.
11 players not running around.
I even think that if you go back to early parts of this season, there were some performances, and for different reasons, completely different reasons, there were performances by Liverpool where their fans were getting similarly.
Yeah, but you didn't see like performances.
The PSV game.
Yeah, but the performances that you've seen from Chelsea. I mean, the Brighton game.
You can't defend what Chelsea have done.
Why are they giving Caicedo an extra year?
You cannot defend what Chelsea have done. There is nothing positive to say about the way the club has behaved. And the club has been run, the club have played this season. There is nothing positive.
You can have 3 or 4 maybe that you see in a team that are not doing it, but there's so many games this season. I've seen Chelsea players, every single player is not running around. Yeah. Every single player is not trying.
Gabby,
every single
the
player is not
statistics are
tracking
clear.
back.
They have been outrun in every single Premier League game. After 10 games, the alarm bells should be ringing.
And in fairness, you can moan about the way the club is run. You can moan about the model. You can moan about the revolving door of managers, which we were told, by the way, when they hired Graham Potter, they weren't going to be that club anymore. They've got worse. But there still has to be individual responsibility. There still has to be professional pride. And there isn't in that dressing room.
You got Fofana getting taken off in a recent game.
He's
I have to say,
he's garbage.
He's got a history of falling out with everybody.
Bad signing. What? Signed him.
Who signed
off the back of a long-term injury? And guess what happened? Yeah. He got injured.
He didn't play for nearly 2 years.
Who could have seen that coming?
But even look at all Chelsea's centre-half options. Listen, Chalobah, decent player, not at the level where Chelsea want to get to. Badiashile, not good enough. The Sassy, who's at West Ham on loan, not good enough.
He's actually played quite well for West Ham.
I know, but where Chelsea want to get to, all of those centre-halves, you're looking at it and saying, that's not a backline.
Especially when you spent 2.5 billion quid.
How much do all those players cost?
They signed a goalkeeper in Robert Sanchez, who Brighton made no real effort to keep. Should that not set alarm bells ringing as well?
But there's so many different factions of this Chelsea problem that should be setting alarm bells going off everywhere. There is every chance that they could finish outside of the top 10. It's not ridiculous.
They don't deserve to finish in the
Even
top
Gusto 10. Can't be bothered to track back, pull his shirt, penalty, no problem. It's like he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do that when he's playing for France. And that's it. You won't do that in the World Cup.
But what does that tell you? It can't just be about the players. The players are a massive part of it. The coaching has to be a big part of it. The infrastructure behind it is also a massive part of it. The whole club is not working in a manner
do they need a manager? Do they need a manager like Marco Silva?
Probably.
That's going to go in there and say, like, listen.
Or Unai.
I'm going to absolutely hammer you guys pre-season. Like, anyone who's not on this train that I want to go on, where I want to take Chelsea. But not someone that's going to be a bit soft.
They're making advances towards Xabi Alonso, but from what I've been told, he's not particularly keen on this project, and you can understand why. What I would say, and I don't want to be disrespectful to Callum McFarlane, but you've got a guy in there, who wouldn't get another Premier League job.
The last team that he properly managed was first team was Croydon.
So how can you take this model seriously? They've put Liam Rossini in there, and again, nothing against Liam.
It's never going to work.
Acun earlier, he is a good coach. wasn't ready to be Chelsea manager.
But
They've got Callum McFarlane in. They can still qualify for Europe. They can still win the FA Cup. And they put a rookie in charge.
Agreed.
Yeah, well, that's what I said at the time. I was on with Adrian Durham the day that it happened, and I said the problem is that Chelsea in their statement said they wanted to challenge for Europe, they wanted to win trophies, and then they put someone who's never really managed a football team in charge. And that's no disrespect to Callum, because he's actually a nice guy and he's worked really well.
Why not get someone in there, like we says, John Terry, as part of it? John Terry, who's
flying Gus Hiddink every summer.
Or John Terry, who can go in there when they made that change, they was in here and say, I got my medals on the table here, and they'll respect someone like John Terry.
Do you know what? They may as well cut out the middleman and just get Igbali's coaching badges and give him the job.
Giving one of these elite coaches that you're talking about the key to the castle is not necessarily a smart strategy either. This is a quote that was sent to me last week. But there is a reasonable balance to be struck where a talented coach feels empowered to voice their opinions and even challenge the decisions internally in service of making Chelsea better. Secure sporting executives must be comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. It's not about stroking egos. I think that should be a motto going forward. Jason is a Chelsea fan. You're through to us. What do you want to say?
Yeah, it was just a quick thing that he did actually correct himself a little bit on it. That Crookie said about the Chelsea players being like frauds as such. But I don't remember him sort of saying the same when you had the Man United players when they.
I absolutely did.
I don't. Well, no, but
you might not remember it. That's your problem, not mine, because I did.
Oh right, okay. So it's everyone else's problem with it. But it just seems that you.
Well, you come on and you just said I didn't say something. Well, I did.
No, I said I don't remember. I didn't say you didn't say it. I said I didn't remember. I don't remember. So there is a difference on that. And when you're saying about Callum McFarlane, nobody has said that he's going to be the full time. Surely that's an interim basis, which we all know.
Interim when you're still trying to qualify for Europe and win an FA Cup.
So who could we get?
You happy with that?
Available? No. But who could we get?
Well, Gabby's just made the point. John Terry would have done it. Probably done it for free.
Yeah, but I'm on about full time. He would still be an interim, wouldn't he? And what managerial experiences? Like I love John Terry. Don't get me wrong. What managerial experience has he got in first team football?
Well, to be fair, he did work as the assistant manager at Aston Villa under Dean Smith for quite some time.
Assistant.
Well, Callum McFarlane hasn't got as much experience as John Terry has. And listen, I want Chelsea to succeed this year. You know that. I want Chelsea to be successful. I'd love it if they got to go to the FA Cup final and they turn Man City over. I can't see it happening, and I've been saying this for the last 2 years. The way they are set up as a club is wrong, and until they sort that out, nothing is going to change. You know,
we won't get a top manager with how they are, because obviously for those reasons. And sort of contradicting myself slightly, I would have loved John Terry to have taken over for the reason that have been stated before, that he would go in there straight away, he would have the respect to the players. So I go with that. However, Callum has been thrown into that situation. What, is he supposed to turn it down?
No, he's not going to turn it down. That's not the situation, is it? And I don't want to... And listen, I think Callum's done a reasonable job in difficult circumstances. The issue is not with Callum, and I don't think Crook's issue is with Callum. It's the people that have appointed him and decided that that's the best route at this stage of the season. 03717 223344. Jason, thank you very much. Good call. Appreciate that. Loads of text messages coming on this, so we may well follow up with a few of those next. This is talkSPORT.
Real Madrid striker Kylian Mbappé, who has faced criticism from his own fans after taking a trip to Italy on a mega yacht with his partner. He's recovering from a hamstring injury he suffered on April the 24th and was given some days off last week. He arrived back in Madrid on Sunday, shortly before kick-off, when Madrid played away against Espanyol. Many fans thought Mbappé should not have taken a break and should have stuck with the team, going through a difficult time at this particular time. Alvaro Arbeloa said, well, in their free time, each player does what they see fit, and I don't get involved with that. Mbappe's representative said part of the criticism was based on an over-interpretation of elements related to a recovery period, strictly supervised by the club, without reflecting the reality of Kylian's commitment and the work that he puts in every day for the team. So that was Mbappe and Real Madrid. But then there's Liverpool. What was going on with them? Danny's old club. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk had to defend some of his teammates who were criticised for being abroad last week on a day off as they headed into the Manchester United game, a game they ultimately lost by 3-2. It was put to Van Dijk that some of his teammates had gone on holiday last week. He says, I'm not sure it was a holiday, it was a city trip. But I think if you're one day off and you don't have many days off, then you decide what you want to do with your family. We're not kids. Everyone's an adult. I wish we had a couple more days off at times because I think it works both ways.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it, Big.
It's Matterface, Gabby Agbonlahor, Premier League legend.
He said he's not a legend, remember?
No, he's not a legend.
No, I'm not, mate. No way, no way.
And because he's humble, isn't he? Gabby.
Can you please?
Humble. Unlike Alex Crook, who walked into the control room after having a little tiff with Jason and went, don't know what that was all about. If you come for the king, you better not miss.
But Sam, when you read out the show, can you put your name first and Alex second? Because he'll only have a go at you if you say Agbonlahor before Crook.
Okay.
Yeah, so Matterface, Crook, Agbonlahor.
Christian, the Chelsea fan. Christian, the Chelsea fan, says 5 sporting directors who have been given pay rises for the mess they've made and have had no accountability for what they've created, just as bad. They let De Zerbi sit in the VIP box area for the Nottingham Forest game. The club is completely lost. How long these contracts that the players have got, and have they got anything to do with the fact they're just too comfortable? Interesting. For a group of players who are accused of giving up, why hasn't the money that is usually supposed to be the great motivator been that for the Chelsea players? Because they're all on incentivised contracts.
Yeah, but incentivised contracts, but when you've got 7 years, Sam. Do you know what I mean? You're giving a player 7 years.
So you're saying it doesn't really matter. You've got no desire.
Because you've still got 7 years of fantastic money.
I don't think that the players have not got any desire. That can't be the case for all of the players.
I hope not. I mean, I'm sure they want to win the big trophies. Look at Enzo Fernandez. He's come out, hasn't he? He wants to be winning Champions Leagues, but they've got.
And he got slapped down for saying that.
Yeah, but they've got to look at themselves. Do more on the pitch then. The capitulation against PSG.
Chelsea obviously trying to copy Brighton, but they don't need to. Buy good players, get a decent manager, win stuff. It sounds like a simple philosophy. Actually, the whole copying Brighton thing irritates me sometimes because they haven't copied Brighton.
No.
They've just taken some of Brighton's staff. But Brighton do something that I think is really important, is they make sure that they've got a long-term plan for a start. 2, they've got a lot of experience in that dressing room, which Chelsea haven't got. Like, good experienced players that haven't got. I mean, they brought in Danny Welbeck and James Milner. People have won Premier Leagues, gone to European Championships, World Cups.
The way Chelsea are run, they wouldn't let someone of James Milner's age get in the training ground.
Well, there you go.
Be part of the squad.
Yeah, you'd have to break in, sit in the bushes with a pair of binoculars. This is the closest he'd get to the Chelsea training ground.
Just a good, rounded football club. You know, we'll let the listeners into a secret here. We didn't go chasing Fabian Herzler to get him on this morning because he just signed a 3-year contract. Brighton offered him on a plate, and not many football clubs do that. They're accessible. They've got a likeable group of players. The chief executive will come on any time. The owner doesn't do much publicly, but if you speak to him in private, he's fantastic.
He has spoken to us. I did an interview with him at the end of last season, and that is because what they understand is that we aren't a big scary animal trying to cause them loads of issue. What we are doing is giving them an opportunity to speak to their supporters and find out a little bit more about their football attitude. Club. Whereas, you know, I'm not entirely sure that everybody sees it like that, which is a real shame. Chelsea have lost each of their last 6 Premier League games. Tomorrow they go to Liverpool. Only once in their league history have they lost their 7 in a row. November, December 1952. It's live on talkSPORT tomorrow, 12:30. Join us. Still lots to come between now and the end of the programme, including a fight on the training ground at Real Madrid. I'm going to go Friday after work pint, number 5, mate.
Number 5.
There he is. So do you want it? You ready?
Yeah, go on.
In number 5.
Number 5.
Friday after work pint. You've worked hard all week. You know, you want to go there, just have that first pint. You've earned it.
Number 4.
Beer garden pint. This can happen any time of day.
Good pint.
Any time, any day of the week. Yeah. Saturday afternoon, meet the lads. Sunday afternoon.
Good pint.
Right, sun's got to be
Number 3.
Football pint. The football pint's in. You meet your lads, meeting up Saturday afternoon or Sunday, whatever it is. First pint, in you go. We're going to get a beer again.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The holiday pint. Mr. O'Hara wants that one. Yes. When you get there, you've done the journey. You've gone through everything you need to do. Passport, security checks, the journey. You get out, you smell, you feel a bit grubby. Don't care. You get on wherever you get to then you get to your destination. Bags get dropped. Sit there. You've earned this pint.
Yeah, it's a good pint.
Good pint.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Airport. It's the only one, mate. Airport pint. It's the only one. You're there. It doesn't matter what time. Not with lads. No. Doesn't matter who you're with. If you're with me, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 3, wherever it is, that's the point.
Do you know what's disappointing in this whole, ranking that we've done?
Have I missed something?
Yeah, well, your missus. There's not one pint that involves your missus. Not one. Where's Hannah in this?
I'm at the airport with her.
No, you're not. You're not at the airport with her. You're with Razor Ruddock.
No, hold on.
Hold on.
No.
Hannah's involved in none of these pints.
No, hold on. I'm at the airport with her, definitely. I'm definitely...
The Jedi Master of the Europa League, Unai Emery, has done it again.
Good evening. Yes, absolutely.
With Amadou Onana injured, Emery played centre-back Victor Lindelof in midfield.
He's a fantastic guy, fantastic professional. He has experience. He played out of matches like that. He plays sometimes as a midfielder, and of course, was not necessary to explain him a lot.
Villa routed Nottingham Forest 4-0 to reach their first European final in 44 years. They'll face Freiburg in the final, who are 7th in the Bundesliga. A fist-pumping Prince William celebrated in the dressing room with the players. Without the injured Morgan Gibbs-White, Forest only managed 2 shots on target, and Vitor Pereira says he doesn't know if Gibbs-White will play again this season. Meanwhile, in the Conference League, Ollie Glasner says if anyone still doubted his team's character, just look at Palace's second goal.
We never forget, this is the reward for last year's achievement, for winning the FA Cup. And I want that you enter the pitch being proud and with this happiness, because it's the reward.
Crystal Palace are into their first ever European final. They'll play Rayo Vallecano in Leipzig. Southampton have been asked to explain why a staff member was spotted filming Middlesbrough's training session. Saints go to Borough in the Championship playoff semi-final, live on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow lunchtime. Tonight, Hull host Millwall, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. And the pioneer of the Luke Littler versus Mo Farah marathon debate, Dave Allen, who also boxes in his spare time, has given his take on tomorrow's juggernaut bout between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois.
Always pick against him, but I'm getting proven wrong nearly every time. So yeah, I'm going to go for Dubois, just because I always pick against Wardley, and why break a habit now? But you know, it's a nigh on 50-50, and that's another reason why it's such a great fight.
Listen and watch along live tomorrow on talkSPORT and the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel.
talkSPORT, Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor this morning. Bit of breaking news for you, released in the last few minutes. Bournemouth have made a statement saying that they are aware of posts that are circulating on social media involving their right-back, Alex Jimenez. The club understands the seriousness of the matter and it is currently being investigated. As a result, Alex will not be included in the squad for tomorrow's Premier League game against Fulham, and the club will be making no further comment at this time. Bournemouth aware of social media posts that have been circulating on social media, and as a result, an investigation has started and they will not be including Alex Jimenez in their squad for tomorrow's game against Fulham. Tomorrow night, live from Manchester, we've got big boxing action for you. It doesn't get much bigger than Dubois against Wardley. Wardley unbeaten, 1 draw on his record. Dubois has 22 wins on his record. And they are, without doubt, 2 British knockout kings, and they are set to collide. So let's look ahead to the big fight with DAZN.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. Don't blink. This Saturday, only on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Daniel Dubois' boxing advisor, Sam Jones, joins us live now. Hi, Sam.
Good morning, Sam.
Hello, how are you?
Morning, mate.
How's happening, Gabby? You all right, mate?
Yeah, a bit hungover, but I'm fine, mate.
Oh, you enjoyed the 4-0 win. I loved it as well. There's nothing better than watching Forest lose, I'm going to be honest.
Sam is a big Derby fan, for those people who don't know, so he's obviously revelling in that as well. Revelling in the fact that there is a big fight this weekend too, which we're really looking forward to, Sam. Yesterday, though, you had a bit of a fallout with Michael Offo, didn't you, from the Wardley camp? This is what it sounded like.
Yeah, I don't think we can trust anything that Sam says. This is the same guy
that called him a quitter previously. Hey,
Michael, you're digging up old stuff, Michael. I saw you holding a camera yesterday at the thing. You can do everything. You're a Swiss Army knife. We all know how great you are. You've come in a lovely snappy suit.
You said it.
Are you Fabio's manager? Yes,
yes, I am.
Are you actually?
Yes, I am.
Are you 100%
yes,
certain?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay,
of that.
well, I've heard.
I have a boxing border control license. Do you have one?
You're a flag bearer.
That's who you are. You're a
cameraman.
crook.
You're a flag bearer. You're a kit bag holder.
And this is what
you're all of them
crooks do when they get pulled out.
Listen, all that really matters is the fact that Daniel Dubois is going to win. That snappy suit that you're wearing there.
Don't worry about my suit.
No, I will worry about it. I will worry about it. But listen, we'll come in peace. Daniel Dubois is going to win on Saturday night in devastating fashion. Yeah,
you come in war.
Yeah, don't worry about licenses. Don't worry about any of that. Tune into the fight. There's his own pay-per-view on Saturday night. Daniel Dubois is going to reclaim his belt. 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Let's have it.
He's a fraud.
Nor are you.
He's the same
Nor are you.
Enough.
Well, Michael's desperate to say, look at the kids. I can see his bottom lip going blah, 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 like this. Don't worry. Daniel Dubois is going to win the heavyweight world fight on Saturday by knockout.
Ooh. Sam, have things calmed down now? You say you came in peace. It didn't look very peaceful, that.
Hey, I came in pure peace. I've got to be honest, right? That wasn't really me. He came for me. But the thing is, he has one fighter. I have about 15, like, that are all doing great things. So obviously, when you're trying to assert yourself in the boxing world, I understand you have to kind of overcompensate. I came in there quite relaxed. Listen, I've got respect for everybody. I've got great respect for Fabio, his manager. I keep forgetting his name. The guy that was coming for me a bit yesterday, but it's all good. It's all part of the game, and Michael, and it's all part of the game, and it's all part of the build-up. But ultimately, me and that guy, it doesn't really matter. All that really matters is the two men that are fighting, the gladiators that are fighting on Saturday, which is Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. The pantomime stuff, yeah, it's great, but it's just words, isn't it? Who really cares?
Sam, when I speak to people that know their boxing, they really can't call this fight. Some are saying that, you know, it will not go the distance, there will be a knockout. You know, boxers that are boxing now are saying exactly the same thing. How has Daniel's preparation been for the fight? Is he in the best condition of his career?
He's in the best possible frame of mind, best condition. And look. Fabio Wardley's story in boxing is amazing, Gabby. It really is. Like I really can't speak highly enough of the guy. Like, he's a Rocky story, but he hasn't been in the ring with a puncher, and that's not disrespectful to anybody. He hasn't been in the ring with a legitimate heavyweight puncher, and Daniel Dubois is a legitimate heavyweight puncher. You only have to look down at his CV. So it's all right. You can be tough and go to the well against the Justice Hoonies who can't punch. But you can't do that against dangerous people like Daniel Dubois, who's rendered people unconscious. That's just the reality. I'm not speaking out of turn, but like I say, I've got so much respect and admiration for Fabio Wardley. I wish him like nothing but the best. He's somebody who I'd go for dinner with. He's a good man. But ultimately, I just think he's going to come unstuck on Saturday, and the voluntary defence against Daniel Dubois will be looked upon after this fight, because I believe Daniel's going to win and become a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, it was fascinating, actually, listening to you speak yesterday when you said that Dubois was going to knock him out. He's going to win by knockout. If this fight goes deeper, who does it favour?
Yes. Yeah, but it's like if buts and maybes, like if the fight goes deeper, Daniel Dubois has been in the trenches with Filip Hrgović, a puncher with Olympic pedigree. He's been in the trenches with Jarrell Miller, who throws 1,000 punches. He's been in the trenches. So let's just see. Look, I know it's the old saying and the old cliches, but the better man on the night will win, and I believe that will be Daniel Dubois.
Sam, I've got to ask you about our very own Simon Jordan, because I know he loves his boxing. And, you know, he always wanted to get into boxing, but I didn't think Simon would be a reporter. He's got a reporter role for DAZN, I take it?
Has he? Has Simon got a reporter's job? So does that mean he's now a journalist?
Yes, apparently.
My old mate Simon.
Yeah.
Go on, Simon. I'll be looking forward to see Simon and his blonde locks at the at the post weigh-in. I can't wait to see him.
He's hosting the Cauldron on DAZN today, which is where he's going to sit down with both fighters. It's sort of like a pre-bout.
Simon Jordan. So Simon Jordan's like Fabio's manager. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? He's a football owner. He's a business owner. He's a reporter. He's a DJ. He's a talkSPORT host.
He's officially in the media.
I have to say, he can't keep saying the media anymore.
Sam, he's got to wear his pass as well. His accreditation.
I tell you what, I wish I had talent. I wish I had some talent. I wish I could do multiple things like these Swiss Army knives.
But he does it well, and obviously he's respected a lot by the people that watch boxing and are involved.
Simon
in
does
boxing.
great. Listen, I've got a lot of time for Simon. He gives me a lot of stick, to be fair, Simon, but I've got a lot of time for him. I've got a lot of time. Listen, everyone's got opinions, and I think there's a lot of softness about people get a bit worried about. Like Simon gets blocked a lot, doesn't he, because of his strong opinions, and people say, "Oh no, he can't attend this." People just need to grow up and man up a little bit, and just if it's criticism, take it on the old lips.
Sam, if you see him today, will you allow him to ask you a few questions? Seeing as he's a senior reporter now?
As long as he doesn't call him Ryland. He called him Ryland the other one.
Hey, listen, I'm a bit fatter than Ryland.
You're not winning the
listen, Gabby Agbonlahor's got a couple of talents. Former professional footballer Gabriel Agbonlahor and now talkSPORT host.
Well, we like to be versatile on this platform. That is for sure.
Be nice to Simon.
So, talking of versatile, what happens to the winner and the loser in this fight? If it is your man Daniel Dubois who goes and wins it, what happens next for him? And what will happen to the loser?
Okay, I think I've lost you there a little bit. Can you hear me still?
We can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear
still
us?
Hear me?
Can you hear us? Have we lost him? We've lost Sam Jones, who's at Manchester ahead of that big fight tomorrow. Hopefully,
massive fight,
we'll
Sam.
get him back. It is a huge fight.
Can't wait for it.
And he's a great character, isn't he, Sam? And I know that him and Simon have a bit of back and forth. So it's
fun. It's fun, isn't it?
It's all done in jest.
Simon
and as he
throws
says,
digs at me every show, so he deserves to be called a reporter.
it is a bit.
Does he need all these jobs, Simon? By the way,
he spends a lot of time in Marbella, doesn't he? It's expensive there.
He's got more gigs than Sam.
Simon has just Sam has just said apparently. Is Simon Jordan the engineer? Is that what?
I hope he's got his accreditation over his shoulder, Simon.
I can't imagine him ever wearing the accreditation.
No. You have to, mate.
Do you know what? I went boxing with Simon not so long ago, and we went to this a fight in Manchester, and listen, there was a lot of great fighters there, but I have never seen someone so popular. And he handled it brilliantly, by the way. He was with everyone. He was taking photos with everyone. He was been having selfies. They were giving him a bit of banter. He would give it a bit back. He was absolutely loving it. And he was brilliant with everyone. And I'm not joking. It took us about an hour to get to the bar and back because we were doing all this social media.
He says what he thinks. It's annoying to me that I like him, to be honest. It really is. Yeah,
and that's what Michelle says as well. Right, okay. This is talkSPORT. We've got that fight, Wardley against Dubois, with DAZN tomorrow night. And remember, you can watch it live this Saturday and only on DAZN by now at dazn.com.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. Don't blink. This Saturday, only on DAZN. Sign up now at dazn.com.
Big fights Saturday night then. Big fights at the Real Madrid training ground. We'll touch on that very shortly with Gabby Agbonlahor. And maybe, just maybe, we owe him a little bit of an apology. This is talkSPORT with Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Gabby Agbonlahor. We're through till 1 with Soccer Builders Warehouse. It's where the trade go.
You mentioned those Arsenal critics, Martin. Do you think there'll be a fair bit of humble pie dished out at the end of the season?
I don't really care, Jim. As I said, this is the first season since Arteta's been there. I said maybe they can win the league this year. I'll back them to win it. They still haven't done that. And with Pep in the building, and there's lots of speculation. Will he be here? Won't he? Is he not even responding to that to create this extra energy and this drive for his team? Bernardo Silva, who's been an amazing servant for the football club, going as well. So it creates that, that finish, that final hurdle.
But in here many times, Martin, you've bristled a few times, more than a few times, when people have come at you about, no, let's get this right. Arsenal have got to show that they can do it, etc., etc. You've bristled a few times.
No, I bristle at the bottling claim, and I should think it's insulting. And I heard Simon use perpetuity, the word forever, and it certainly wasn't around in my day. And if they go on and win the league and the Champions League this year, in fact, I'll take one of those trophies, Jim. I don't think that could be said about this group ever again.
Martin, brilliant. You think it's got a bit too cosy with Danny and Simon?
I don't know whether Simon is using the back complaint because he's just not happy that Arsenal are in the Champions League final. I don't know. I can't work it out. Oh, he's woken up. He's woken up.
He is here. He is here. You're not using the back complaint at all, are you?
Unfortunately, my earphones have unplugged, so I haven't had time to Keown's dribble.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Inside Series on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Watch the latest Inside Series episode live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel now. 18+, gambleaware.org.
And this week, Ricky Sachs discussed the upturn in form since the arrival of Roberto De Zerbi at Spurs on the latest episode of Inside Spurs, alongside Abby Summers and Sonny Snelling.
Look, none of us would sit here and say that all these players are terrible, bottom of the table players. But what that just shows you is, well, we all have. But what I'm saying is that, even when you factor in that Brighton game where we were seconds away from a win, he could have had 3 back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had
with literally 3/4 of the squad gone.
Yeah.
Finished.
It's amazing what you can do when you put a proper coach.
Amazing what he'd be like, though, having, Maddison as an option, Kulusevski as an option. Kudus. I mean, you just think, the job he's done is remarkable. I will say this now, if we do stay up, and I know it's a long way to go, that guy does deserve a statue. He has been unbelievable.
Wow. That's some prediction.
They're easily pleased.
Don't forget that you can watch the latest episode of Inside Series episodes on talkSPORT's YouTube channel now. It's all thanks to BetMGM. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Inside Series on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Watch the latest Inside Series episode live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel now. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Matterface, Crook and Agbonlahor with Selco Builders Warehouse. So check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com. Monday Night Football is Tottenham against Leeds. 37 points they've got, but what happens on Sunday is really important. In fact, maybe, just maybe, and we said this actually on Monday morning, maybe there is going to be a time when we're going to have to apologise to Gabby for suggesting that Spurs get 11 points, Gabs.
I was mocked, wasn't I? I think I was on with Ali McCoist, and Alex Crook got his laptop out and was sending Ali McCoist messages.
I was on the school run, actually.
And he was saying, what's wrong with Gabby?
Couldn't have got his laptop out because he's broken it.
Has he?
He doesn't know how to work it.
Loads of people were saying I'm crazy. They haven't won a game in 2026. But sometimes you can't always look back at form. You have to look at a new manager, a better manager than what they've had in recent times. I just looked at the fixtures. It was Wolves. I thought they'd beat Wolves. They did. I looked at the Villa game. I actually predicted a draw for the Villa game. But I always knew that Villa would have a problem in between two big semi-finals.
So do you think they'll get 11 points? Because they've only won once at Chelsea in 36 years. They've not won at home since December the 6th against Brentford. And they've got the joint worst home record in the league.
I think they will. I think Leeds at home is a game that they can win. Yeah. I don't care about their record against Chelsea because this Chelsea are a bunch of bluffers. So this is the best time to be playing Chelsea if you're Spurs.
They might get more than 11
Exactly.
points.
And the last game of the season, who do they play? Everton?
Yeah.
And maybe Everton by then, if they're still fighting for Europe.
Will you apologise to him?
I will. I mean, he did say, didn't he, De Zerbi, that they're capable of winning 5 games in a row. And
he did.
He might be right. And do you know what? The worry for people who've sort of enjoyed Tottenham's downfall last couple of years, if they do stay up.
You talking about yourself here?
He's a proper coach, De Zerbi.
Well,
They'll have a much better season.
Interesting, he still tries to maintain that he hasn't got a dog in this fight.
I haven't.
Why did you go so high-pitched there? Only dogs heard that.
Listen, I think if West Ham do go down, it's their own fault.
Do you think as well?
Did I get stick for that as well, suggesting that West Ham are going
right.
down?
But Sam, do you reckon this weekend, because Spurs play after West Ham, if West Ham get a point or lose, different pressure is
absolutely. Well, we mentioned this beforehand. I think I said to you over Christmas there was a game against between Aston Villa and Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium, and I said Arsenal will win that game if Manchester City drop points the night before. They did drop points.
Makes a difference.
Before,
you're right. Yeah.
And Arsenal went on and won the game, and that sometimes has a massive effect.
So what happens if City beat Brentford? I know you've gone for the draw. I actually think City at home, they've only lost once at home in the league this season. That was their first game against Spurs.
Puts a bit of pressure on on Arsenal, but I still think that they'll have enough. I think that game on Monday night was a turning point. That was the turning point.
Very open. Gahey worried me in that game, looking towards the World Cup. I know it's a one-off game, but that was a poor performance.
Such a bad error that he made. But
and listen,
they've been doing that all season.
Players are going to be making errors, but Manchester City have given away more points from winning positions than anyone else in the league, apart from Newcastle and Tottenham, since the beginning of January. And this is in the best period that they've had.
They're so open. You look at Arsenal, so good defensively, it's hard to get chances.
They've still got
City.
They've still got a massive issue, City, when it comes to Rodri.
Yeah, definitely.
You were all over Nico Gonzalez at one stage.
I'm not sure about him.
I'm not sure he's good enough.
Well, there's a massive drop-off. Whenever Rodri's not in the team, they needed, like on Monday night, they needed control. They needed Rodri. They need someone to pop the ball around and take the tempo of the game down a lot.
Bernardo Silva. They're going to miss John Stones in the dressing room. This is another big transitional summer.
Absolutely. I wonder whether or not the manager will still be there as well. Listen, lots of things happen at training grounds, and I think we shouldn't pretend that it's always roses round the door and everyone's always smiling. That's not the case. No. Sometimes there are fallings out, sometimes there are punches thrown. But Federico Valverde having to go to hospital with a head injury after coming to blows with his Real Madrid teammate Aurelien Tchouameni is quite something, isn't it?
It's a terrible, terrible thing to happen. I mean, Real Madrid, it's been a dreadful season for them as their standards. There's been talk about the fans aren't happy with Mbappé as well. And this just tops it off. A player apparently knocks out the captain.
Well, he's denied it. Fede Valverde has said that actually it happened accidentally when he hit a table. He said he explained he suffered a small cut on his forehead that required a routine
having
visit.
tea in the changing room.
Those pesky tables.
During what he described
bloody
as
studs on those boots, so slippy.
An argument. The club who have opened disciplinary... The problem here is that there's two conflicting bits of information, isn't there? Yeah. You've got Valverde saying, we were just having a cup of tea and a disagreement, and I fell over and slipped and hit my head on the corner of the table. And the club are opening disciplinary proceedings, not against the table, but against both players.
Have you seen this, Sam?
Apparently he had a craniocephalic trauma.
Wow.
that type of
but Sam,
concussion.
There was two players that had a fight at
Do you know
Marseille.
what it is?
No, but it sounds serious.
Sam, there was two players that had a fight at Marseille, and De Zerbi got rid of both of them.
Yes.
It was Rabiot and was it Jonathan Rowe?
Yeah, it was.
Got rid of both players.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. If you have knocked out the club captain, Valverde, I don't get who
Well,
you
he
are.
says
You're
at
out.
no point did my teammate hit me. And
I'll
I
say
didn't
that
hit
if
him
someone knocked me
early.
out as well. I'll say, listen, it didn't get the better of me. It was a fair push.
I remember it happened a few years ago at Southampton. Do you remember the lunatic striker they had, Danny Osvaldo, the sort of rock star? He got into a fight with Jose Font, didn't he? And I think Jose came off worse, and Danny Osvaldo never played for Saints again.
You know what's hilarious, though? You see the carnage at Real Madrid right now, and there's talk about Mourinho maybe going in there. All the best. Adding Mourinho to the chaos of Real Madrid.
Well,
They might just feel he's the man to sort it out.
I was going to say, they need a strong hand, don't they? Which is the biggest issue. And also, by the way, one of the big issues I think they've had over the course of this season is the fact that when the boy Alonso goes in there, he wants to do certain things. The big egos in that dressing room are not having it.
He went down the tunnel, Vinny Jr. after a game.
They replace him with Arbeloa. He hasn't got the ability to control the dressing room. There's no one with a bigger ego than Jose.
Yeah.
So if he walks back in there, he's immediately the king.
What about what's happened with, like,
and if you come for the king, you better not miss.
Yeah, but what happened with Benfica, though? And his comments after the game.
Yeah, but they didn't lose a game all season, did they?
No, I'm talking about the comments with when the player put his hand over his mouth and allegedly said a racist remark. I'm saying Mourinho's comments afterwards about Vinny Jr.
ill-advised.
Exactly. Is that going to be a problem as well with some of the players?
We're going out this afternoon. We're not going to get into punch-up, are we? Gabby's not there, so probably not.
See, Gabby's the disruptor in this dressing room, isn't he?
Well, we got a couple out there.
He's trying to call. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Maybe my reasons are I don't want to go out with you guys because I've upset a lot of Arsenal fans.
Oh, you don't want to bump into them.
Home,
you don't want to bump into them.
Back with your own people.
Yeah, back in my own people. Proper brummies.
Get back. Get back with all the working class people you live with in that 17
in the compound.
Man of the people.
Man of the people. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll be back next Friday. Gabby will not be with us next Friday because he's dumping us to go and work on breakfast, which we're not very happy about.
Istanbul, mate.
Should we get a proper legend? Emanuel Petit, is it available?
Should we get someone who's won something? We'll do that next Friday on talkSPORT.
You want to come back as a racehorse. Honestly, it's so much better than being, a show jumper or a dressage or whatever. Racehorses get treated so well because at the end of the day, you need them to run as fast as you can and perform for you.
We got
so
here at 5:30 and I was like, there's already people looking after the horses already that early.
Massages earlier on.
Yeah.
The best feed.
Yeah,
4 times a day. We only get fed 2.
We get groaned at by this
It's been my missus here. Look after.
I wanted to ask you about Sir Alex Ferguson because obviously we all had that scare at the weekend when we heard this news about Sir Alex taking unwell. We believe that he's doing well. But is that what you guys had in common as well? Was that horse racing back in the day? Did you guys have that in common?
I spoke to him. I was on the phone to him for 40 minutes that morning.
Wow.
We're talking about football. We're talking about horses. As I say, he's got